relationships like free to date anyone and whoever each partner wants to, but they have like certain rules within them, like you have to let each other know the
I don't think
partners, or
they're
just is it
dating.
just sex or
Just sex.
like just having sex outside of their relationship, but not just.
But the
But
other
some
one
may have-
knows that you are having.
Yeah, everyone's aware, right?
Mhm.
But are some like other relationships outside of relationships?
With this question, people get it mixed up.
I was
Like
just gonna
with-
say
I
that.
think it's
Tiffany,
defined
you
by
just
each
said it.
relationship, right?
Certain situations we think are open relationship and it's just a casual sexual
Right.
relationship.
It's just sex.
An open
Ah.
relationship is when you really have a primary core couple
Mm-hmm.
and they may be living together, raising kids together,
Married.
or married, but they agree to, have their times and their moments outside of, their normal routine.
Mm-hmm.
I know a few people who got setups like this.
I do too.
And you have to be strong mentally, and it goes both ways, because I've known husbands who allow their wives to, go out and have your little fun and vice versa, and they do it together at times. But everybody can't stomach that. A lot of times when they think of open relationships now, I had a friend of mine one time said a guy told her he wanted to be in an open relationship, but he had a problem with how she was moving. I said, when he said he wanted to be open, he wanted you to understand that he was going to date outside of you and do what he wanted to do.
Right, but she couldn't
He
do
wasn't.
it.
Yeah, he wasn't
So what was
banking.
his problem with her?
He wasn't banking on her being so open and honest
I-
about
That's
it.
not open.
Exactly.
That's
one-sided.
That's what I told her. I
Yeah.
said that was
Normally
his
how it
version of it.
Yeah.
You can be accepting of something, but when you say an open relationship, that's like really like y'all saying, even though she might have been on a date with another dude last week, you still saying that's your woman.
Right.
But
You know what I'm
again,
saying?
it depends on how you define open.
That
And,
too.
and it depends on that relationship. You know what I mean? And I think when I think of open, I mean it starts from the conversation and the understanding of the relationship. So if both of y'all have an understanding, meaning this is what open means, meaning you freely to date, I'm freely to date, and whatever boundaries that y'all set, I would think that that's open. Or
Right.
if it was just the guy or the female that said, we're having an open relationship, I'm gonna do this here, but this is what you willing to accept. Because maybe the other person may not be cool with doing some things, you know what I mean? But they may be cool with their partner doing certain things. But that's the agreement that they have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just how you define what open is. And then you both honest with each other.
But sometimes it ain't even a matter of it being open. What you just said, it's a matter of one partner understanding, because he may be like, yeah, I don't care to deal with nobody else, but if she wants to here and there, that's fine, and vice versa. But yeah, that word open has a bunch of, it's like open is at the top, and then they got a tree of
yeah.
what else.
So who's been in one?
possibilities. Yeah.
Who's been in one?
And I don't mean an open marriage. I mean,
Open relationship.
like if you are in a one-on-one relationship with somebody, have you been in a open relationship where your partner knows, or the person that you're with knows, that you are dabbling elsewhere?
Yeah.
I've
Who's
never
been
been
in
in an
that
open
situation?
relationship. I've never. That's not something that I'm cool with. So if somebody's doing their thing and I don't know it, that's different. But
Yeah.
I'm not cool with that at all.
So you've been in one. How did that work for you?
It started off with us having a conversation. She was very forthcoming, and she asked questions, and she just asked me like, well, what do you have going on? She was like, you're a nice looking dude. I know you got stuff going on. And she was, from the start, she was just like, long as you, tell me the truth, I'll tell you the truth, and we can go from there. She was a few years older than me at the time. And I told her my truth. She told me her truth. And we just kind of proceeded on forward. And it was, you still have bumps in the road, especially when it's like, we wasn't like in a primary relationship. We were dating, but it was like her friend was out of town. So all of my stuff was local. So it was just like, it was times where she got put on the back burner because I'm like, I'm not saying it out loud except for now. But back then it was just like, but yeah, it ain't your date.
Yeah, I'm
Type of
busy.
thing.
Yeah.
Like I already had plans.
Yeah.
But then when her dude came to town, then I get in my little bag because it's like he knew about me, but he wanted a separate set of rules when it came to me. Like he didn't want her to interact with me any when he was in town and around, and she respected that. Me, I was the exact opposite. I was just like, I don't care if you answer his call when you're with and around me or whatever, however.
Well, you knew your position. You knew your lane.
Exactly.
And
And
that's the
I
respect
felt
level
like
there.
I was number 2 because he was already there first.
Right.
And with me, it's like, okay, I accept number 2 because she was probably 2 or 3 with me,
Right.
type of thing. But you still can't control all the times because that was new for me. This one, I was like, I hadn't even been divorced for a year yet. So it was just like, I'm learning as I go along how to deal with these emotions because it's like somebody you really like, but then you got to see them in the club with somebody else.
Right.
But all your friends like, oh, where there go your girl?
Damn.
And it's like, chill out. Like tonight ain't our night.
Yeah.
But then now he's with her and he's like, oh, there go your boy. Why you ain't gonna speak to him now? And she was like, cause I'm with you. You said you ain't want me to talk to him. But so
Oh,
now
Lord.
everybody's frustrated. He's mad with her because I'm walking around the club. I'm mad because I'm usually on her a certain type of way when I see her out and I can't be. And now she's upset because she's losing out all around the board. He mad with her, I'm mad with her,
Damn.
but he going to the house with her, but he's still mad at the house with her.
Right.
So it can be messy and really confusing.
At the end of the day, to each his own. Whatever you have
Yeah.
to do to stay happy in your relationship, do what you got to do. No judgment.
And be
Mhm.
honest with
And
each
be
other,
honest
whatever
with each
it
other.
is.
So I have no problem with what people do in these situations. For me, it's just not an option. for me.
I
I
personally
don't like
applaud.
community. I don't like community penis.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't
It
really
ain't
wanna really
always
cares for it, but if you
community.
can
I wouldn't want to
If
knowingly
it's more
share.
than
I wouldn't want to know
If it's more than what?
because you gonna share. You
Yeah,
share.
you just
You
don't
just
know.
don't know
So,
you
You
share.
Yeah.
said if it's
If
more
I-
than what?
Oh.
so if I'm with someone and we're in a relationship, I don't share.
You don't know that you're sharing.
Just because you don't share,
Correct.
that don't.
Or
that
she
don't
may
mean
not
they
be.
share.
She may
Correct,
not be
correct.
sharing.
She may not.
I
He may
don't-
be faithful.
I
Right.
don't like to share.
Right. There you go.
I'll put it that way.
Yes.
Let me-
I don't like to share.
Can I ask you a question with that, please?
Absolutely.
Women say that all the time, and when y'all say that, it's like you don't like to share, but your feelings and how you think and go about has nothing to do with how the other person thinks and go about. Because you saying you don't like to share. When I hear that, I'm thinking you don't want to give yourself out in a way. You can't speak for him.
I can't.
If she's
You're
in a
right. I
relationship,
cannot.
she
But if
can't,
we're in a
right?
relationship and
Yeah,
I have a
because
conversation,
You saying
Y'all should be on the same page.
Right.
I get you,
Or
but when you
discuss,
say
have a discussion
share-
about not being on the
sharing
same
your
page.
man it's kind of like it almost sounds like a feeling of, and this when anybody said, male or female,
Mhm.
it's like it's almost like I get a vision of people thinking they can just hard down control somebody.
Mm-mm.
I don't.
And-
I don't. I
and
don't
their-
see it
and
that
their
way. And
actions.
I'll tell you why.
Not even like a control, just have a different type of
But you
handle
can
on
voice
it.
Mm.
voice your wants in a relationship, and the person is entitled to give you those wants or not. And then y'all have to realize that you're not compatible or compatible in whichever.
Because I
is
think
wants,
you have to have
right?
the conversation of,
Right.
if we're in a relationship,
You have to be on the
Yeah.
same damn page.
Right.
are we? If that's a sort of commitment, it's not marriage,
No.
but it's a commitment.
Mhm.
Right.
You say
Right.
when you say we're on the same page.
Well, if I say, if
Yeah, but
we have that discussion and we're in a relationship,
Mhm.
I'm thinking we're gonna have that conversation of we're on the same page.
Mhm.
Where I make it known I don't like to share. And there's a few reasons why.
Mhm.
One, I know my sex drive. Two, if you're dibbling and dabbling with others, who's to say that whatever you're dabbling in is not gonna come back on me? I mean, it's just so many different variables.
Yeah.
I already told y'all when I'm in, I'm in.
Mhm.
When I'm out,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Right.
But if I'm in and I'm giving you all of me, meaning my time, my resources, my
Can
All
I say
your
this?
vagina.
Can I
Yes.
say this? Can I say this? That's you choosing to give all in. If
And
he's
you're
not on the
right.
same page with you on that,
but then why
We're not in a
should have had
relationship,
that
right?
conversation.
y'all
Okay,
should
but
have
see,
had that
my-
conversation,
Correct.
right? Communication is
But
everything.
then we're not in a
Then
relationship.
y'all not in a relationship. But
Right.
But
sometimes,
if we
But
are and we have that
sometimes-
conversation,
for women, sometimes that dick can be so good it'll have you.
It's a lot of assumptions.
It'll have
Absolutely.
you assuming,
Yeah.
or it'll have you thinking you in a relationship.
But she's
Or-
talking about after they done
No,
had
I
that
know.
conversation.
But again, like,
But you gotta
like,
have that conversation.
Like sometimes,
Heck
you know,
yeah.
what
But you got
men-
some
every-
women that have
every-
that conversation and still think they can change a man.
But see,
Oh, yeah.
everybody
He said
want
he didn't
people to
want
keep
it.
it
I'm
real.
not a project manager.
Everybody
anymore.
want people to keep it real, you know, right? They want realness
Absolutely.
in a relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, you want everything in a relationship, the
Yeah.
commitment, everything.
Mhm.
What if part of that realness come with that guy saying, you know what, I like you, I dig you, but you're not gonna be the only one I be with for the next X amount of time. How would you feel about that?
But
It's
the
enough for
thing
me,
with that
dog.
is, let me make that decision.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes, be
You know,
honest.
Right, just be honest.
Let me make that decision.
You know-
I've had hold on
Go ahead.
before you say that. I've had situations where, and I don't mean where he was cheating, but I've had situations where guys have said, I didn't tell you because I thought you would have reacted this way. Okay, but that's your thinking. You can't put those projections onto me.
Mhm.
Right.
Give me the opportunity to make a choice because I'm grown.
Yes.
You know,
And if I want to deal with it, then I'll be like, I don't like it, but okay.
But that's a
There's a
bullshit
lot of women that
statement.
will,
That's
though.
a bullshit statement.
What
that's
is?
that's a
Which
statement.
one?
I didn't tell you because
Oh.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
bullshit. That's them
was
controlling
afraid
the
to.
situation where they can
Yeah.
have both. They can still have you,
Okay.
have what they
And-
want, and still be able to
So
do what they
Mhm.
want. So
I
that's
was about to
you
say
know,
that.
that's
I was about to
bullshit.
say when you say the don't like to share, nobody likes to share.
Yeah,
That's
nobody does.
men.
Exactly.
But the
Men
difference is
especially don't like to
yeah,
share.
men especially, but men won't never say that shit out loud.
Why is that?
We don't say it out loud,
Shit.
but they,
I know some men
trust me,
that's like,
they'll
I
show-
wish you would.
yeah, they'll say it to you, but they'll come in the barbershop and act like they the
I don't
coldest
care.
goddamn pimp since Golden. You feel me? But then behind closed door, when they find out, oh,
Right.
Tiffany, you spoke to him, it cuss you out and ready to catch a charge because you spoke to somebody else.
They
But he
mad.
won't. But he won't never say he don't like to share out loud. But then the other thing is, like you said, majority of everybody wants the upper hand,
Mhm.
men and women. I got homegirls who play the game a certain type of way. Got homeboys who play it a certain type of way. Nobody want to be on the even playing field. Like I've seen that shit. I've seen women who have a man and have 5 other men, but if she find out her man talking to one other person, she'll lose it.
Mhm.
Everybody likes to play from the winner's position, like to feel like they don't have the short end of the stick. Very few people know how to handle their emotions to the point where they can be on the short end on one stick, at the top on another, in the middle on another, and just not on one at all. That's a hard pill for anybody to swallow. And when you say about telling the truth and keeping it 100,
You learn how.
I told somebody a long time ago, I say, everybody ain't built for the truth.
True.
And people ask for the truth, but I'm like, everybody's truth is different. You might be
But
able to
I feel
handle.
like
you
when
might be
men
able to
say
handle
that,
Ricky
it's
truth,
like
but
you're
you may
expecting
be,
a different
might
outcome.
Not be able to handle Kurt truth.
That's because of
And
different
same-
feelings.
and
for
with
each
men,
individual.
But just because we don't
Because
accept your truth
you
or
might-
like it's a good reaction from your truth doesn't mean we can't handle the truth. I
No.
think y'all expect us to be like,
No.
okay, that's
Alicia,
fine.
Alicia,
Like, no, I'm still
Alicia.
finna, like, we finna.
Alicia,
Right.
you speaking from your standpoint. Right now, I'm speaking from.
Well,
a
what
general
makes a
type of
woman
thing
not
because
acceptive of the truth?
You know why? Because you may be strong enough to accept
Most
anything a
women
man
aren't
tells
accepting
you.
of the
You feel
Mhm.
me?
I'm
But
sorry.
you might have a
It
homegirl
depends.
who she hear the truth,
They know.
and that might drive her right off the fucking deep end.
But
I don't know
her
people who
being
done took their
hurt
life
and
because of the
disappointed
truth.
from the truth doesn't mean we can't
Listen,
accept the truth. That's
Listen
what I'm
I just
saying.
said.
But
I
then,
know-
too, you
I
gotta know
people
who you
personally-
dealing with.
Hold on. I know people personally who took their life because they couldn't
Oh,
handle the truth.
God.
And
I
the
get what you're
person
saying
who
now.
who they knew, the person who you knew, you would never
Yeah.
think you like
I get it now.
how you, but bro, you knew you weren't like, and you
Damn. Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
your
yeah.
homeboy got enough wherewithal in the sense of
Yeah.
the matter, and like, bro, everybody knew. So
Yeah, I get that.
why
I
are
get
you
what you're saying now.
losing your marbles behind something that
Yeah.
you knew already? But everybody can't. Some women
Yeah.
go off the deep end and do shit that land them life in prison
Yeah,
over a
she
man,
so-
and then you looking at them like, it's just a man. You could get another man, girl.
Oh,
Like,
Listen,
Oh,
turn
dang.
that
So
thing that's not
everybody-
yours loose and watch how you be
that
blessed
truth.
after that.
Some
Mhm.
people need to
Golly.
be.
It's that simple.
I hate it, but some people need to be lied to. At
I don't
times.
think nobody does though.
Listen,
I don't
man.
think
But I
anybody deserves that.
wait.
And I'm gonna say this.
But
I
I
get
get
why
wait,
you
wait,
would
I know
lie.
why.
I get
but
why
when you
Kurt says
do,
that.
when you so
You make it so
I
much
never-
worse.
I never
somebody like
asked
me.
nobody
No.
to keep 100.
I get what
100
he's
with me.
saying that.
Maybe
Somebody
call
like
before
me.
you
You
go to
comprehend that
sleep.
because you're
I
not
don't-
the type of women. But there are women out there exactly what Kurt is saying. Some women,
But do you mean like lie in like when you're
'Cause they
face
don't
to
wanna know
face
the
type
truth.
of thing?
they don't want to know the truth.
Jeez.
They want to
Hey,
hear the
I-
delusional
Yeah.
lie or the delusion of the relationship, and it makes them happy. They don't want to know the truth.
I just
There's
saw
a lot
video.
of women like that.
We shared a
It's
vid-
unfortunate,
It
and they
is.
don't
sad.
deserve it, and it's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
But for them, they live in that world. They
Yeah.
wanna live in a world where they are happy, where they think a certain way, and they don't want to know the truth, and that's a reality
Yeah.
for
But-
some people.
Yeah, but for me, I still believe everybody deserves the
No,
The truth.
I'm not saying
Because,
that
like-
they don't deserve it. What I'm
Right.
saying is there are some people that don't want it.
But they
Yeah.
don't want it. But I think when you don't be true, you kind of rob them of the ability to make a fair.
Of-
They
Absolutely.
don't want,
Right.
but what we're
So,
trying to tell you, we get
they don't
that.
want-
That
they wanna
moral,
be-
you
they
are
lost in the
absolutely
sauce.
right. They're
Yeah.
lost in the
Yeah.
sauce.
Well,
I need the
Yeah.
truth
Yeah.
100%
They wanna
of the
stay there.
time.
They wanna
But
stay
you
there.
gotta
And
you
they
gotta
wanna
determine.
stay
Like,
there.
I'ma
And they
tell
want to
you.
stay there.
I'm gonna tell you. I tell people I learned early, man. It's certain things that people did in their life that it's okay with them taking it to the grave. You feel me?
True.
We just shared a video in our guys group chat on Instagram. It was a young lady talking about she was sitting there with her dude, and her dude was like he was talking in a way like you got to be ready to deal with any and everything, like you got to be built for it or whatever,
Mhm.
right? So then the girl was talking about, where I grew up, she said I would say 95% of all women done had trains ran on them. And then
What
hold
she
on,
living in?
hold on.
95%.
Yeah, so
I must be in the 5.
hold
I must
on.
be in the
So
five.
hold
Where
on.
she
But
live at?
listen, no, this was just her from her growing
Her
up.
perspective and her friend group.
because
Her
what she
experiences.
did,
What-
what she
Jeez.
saw people doing in her
Mhm.
Yeah.
town, wherever
in
she's
her
from.
environment, yeah.
You see, all we commented on, my guys in the chat, we ain't even comment on what she say because in our minds we like, yeah, that's a lie. Like if she just said 50%, then we got an argument. But 95%,
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
jeez.
Yeah.
We was more so on his face because he had a look of confidence in the moment. And then when
Mhm.
she said that and he realized that his woman was one of them women, whole everything changing. We was just talking about how it was gonna affect him. Like, yeah, buddy, life just changed right before our eyes.
Right.
But now he's gonna go
Yeah.
he's gonna go away from that feeling like, oh yeah, all women are like this, because now the woman that you loved and cared for, now you know,
On divulge her
She-
experiences.
and put it on 95% of women.
Oh, Lord.
So now think about what
No.
kind of man he gonna be moving
Maybe
forward.
she's in the 5%.
Now she's talking about
That's
all of
just
us.
yeah. She talking about her
Oh, she
friends
in
from
it.
her town and what they did, but you know how that is. She
the
had-
world is
she
is
had
a big
she had
place.
she had 5 friends who did that shit,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
but the other
Yeah.
goddamn 3,000 girls at the
Listen,
school
at the end of the
didn't
day,
and talked about
everybody's
them.
exposure
Yeah.
is different.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's exposure
Yeah.
is different. Those of you, who've never traveled, who have outside of your town, 95% of women have not
Yeah,
had a
Okay.
train ran on them. Let's make that clear.
A
95% of women have not.
Damn.
I'm not
I
even
don't
gonna
train.
personally know one.
Nah.
I don't know anybody.
But that ain't shit that people even divulge
Give up.
anyway.
Right.
You
We
just be
talking
like,
about
girl,
it.
I let
Damn,
these
she was
these
being
dudes
real
But
do.
you
Yeah.
you have
God.
some women that and you see them on social media, depending on where they're from, how they grew up. Yeah, they gonna tell you. 'Cause
Yeah, like the one girl that has that
Like
new
almost
song
like a badge
about
of
her.
honor.
Yeah. Somebody told me, somebody I've dealt with in the past before told me that, but when they told me, it was one of them things where it was just like, it wasn't supposed to be like that. A situation occurred, they got left, and then it kind of happened, and it was a whole lot of stuff behind it. But even when they told me, I didn't look at them like, oh, you like she a train wreck. It was just like, I looked at it like, you got caught up in that situation in that moment. You were young, cats are older. You thought you was in a safe place because you was with who you thought was your boyfriend, and then he let his brother in, his cousin, and they homeboy.
Some women just hoes.
And not you.
I'm just
But
calling it
that's
what it is.
sexual assault.
And then some women are 14 and get caught up in the room
Yeah, I
with a
don't
19-year-old, an
Oh,
18-year-old, a 17-year-old,
saying.
and they
Excuse me,
14-year-old
women.
boyfriend who let his brothers put him up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, and this is a person who was one of them people who told me the truth.
That's
Like,
sad.
they weren't telling it to me like on no sob story. It was just something that reminded them of it, and they told me about the situation, and I was just kind of like, well, just for future reference, you can take that one to the grave.
Take that shit to the grave.
I'm the type of dude who can stomach a lot and deal,
Yeah,
but
take that one to the
you
grave.
take
Yeah.
that one to the grave, baby. Like, you feel
TMI.
me?
TMI.
Like,
Read the room. Read the room.
Yeah.
Please hurry up.
and I had to tell her that because she didn't know how to read the room.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to read.
So
the
it
room.
was
She
like,
probably thought she was bragging.
no, she wasn't. She was
Sound like
just
she wanted
Just
out.
talking
She
too
wanted.
much.
She wanted.
Based
She
off
wanted.
of- you feel
She
me?
wanted to talk.
It would literally saw one of my homeboys, met one of my homeboys, and said he looked like one of the guys that was involved in this situation with me, type of thing.
Did she have PTSD or something? Like,
She
Probably.
possibly could have, and because my homeboy
'cause
from
if he
here,
triggered that. And
my
she said
homeboy,
it,
my
damn.
homeboy's from here, and this was in a whole nother state.
Mhm.
This was a 4-hour plane ride away,
Oh wow,
and my homeboy from here, and
she was having PTSD.
from seeing him, it was like, and she told me
Damn.
about the moment, and it wasn't like a
Okay.
bragging shit. It was just like she was like, yeah, it was bad. That's why I had to move here, and my family had to move, and this and that
Damn.
because of
That
all of the
sound
stuff
like
that
a
happened from the
sexual
situation.
assault. Not something she was just doing, you know?
It was.
She probably signed up for the one guy, but didn't know everybody else was coming in. That's
Yeah.
What to
assault.
do?
Yeah, but
That's sad.
unfortunately, it'd be a lot. I read a book. The first book I ever read was like that. A dude had a whole chapter talking about it. Was called "Make You Want to Holler" by Nathan McCall, and he was talking about growing up in like Portsmouth, Virginia, and it was one chapter called "Trains." And I was like, I hope this ain't what I think it is. And that's what it was. And it was a bunch of, that hypersexual shit from young teenage boys. And
Curious.
yeah, he said they would actually have a whole setup of how they'll do. They'll get a girl at the house with the guy she like, and then one guy come in acting all crazy like he wanted to beat her up or do something to her. So he like, look, I ain't gonna be able to
You
calm
put that
him
in
down.
a book?
He wrote this in the book. He was talking about
But they
his
was
childhood.
teens, right? They was teens.
Yeah, they were
So,
like
yeah.
14.
But
And he was just like,
somebody could.
he was talking about, no, this is like they were growing up in the
But
70s.
they was young though.
Yeah. This was him
yeah.
growing up. Nathan McCall, like 60-something years old now. So he talking about in the 60s and 70s growing up. This was when he shot somebody and he said, long as they ain't die, you ain't get no time. He said they were literally sitting at the hospital, and when the dude made it through surgery, they were like, yeah, boy, that could have been bad for you. He got like 6 months for shooting somebody.
Damn.
This was like 1970s Virginia. But he was just like, that's how they would do it. The one guy would act crazy like he was gonna do something to the girl. So he was like, man, you might as well let him do it too, so they don't go crazy. So while he in there, now you done had like 6, 7 other boys come there. And now they all in the room standing around. And it's like it was a predatorial type of thing, but they didn't understand it. He understood it enough to the point where he remember it was a girl in the neighborhood who he really liked until they caught her up in that midst. And it was just like, he was like, damn, like.
And they probably
that was
labeled
the-
the girl a whore, and she
Yeah,
wasn't
because
really. She
of-
just got caught up.
Yeah, because she's
Right.
terrified and shit.
Damn,
But
that's so messed up.
it's a lot of crazy situations when it comes to, it's touchy.
So, with the open relationships?
We took that way left.
We did.
Okay.
So we start talking about the truth
trains,
and that being the
involuntary,
100.
involuntary.
Yeah, we took that way left. But go ahead, we back on track.
Back on track now. I don't see any. But
What benefit?
yeah, are there any benefits to that?
I don't.
I think so.
Absolutely.
I will say this. So,
Oh my God,
I
Ricky!
think some of the benefits
so.
are one,
Team
everybody's-
building.
Team build, bitch.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Team build.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Everybody's appetite is satisfied in that situation. And,
I think
and
it's-
Ricky's right. There can be a form of peace of mind.
I thought you were about to say team.
Everybody is in the relationship could be happy. You know, some
Mhm.
women aren't into certain things other women can be into,
Yeah.
and they can be like, "Well, I'm glad I don't have to perform that because that's what he
Mhm.
likes."
Mhm.
Vice versa. Everybody in the situation could be extremely happy with it. So there are some perks to it for those that are into it. Next time we should have somebody that doesn't come on the show. And they can really tell us. But when it's compared to monogamous, man, listen, people can get bored with the same old monotony of sex. And I think that trying different things can make the relationship a little better.
Mhm.
And my thing is, listen, they sell enough wigs where you can come through, sis, throw your wig
Yeah,
on,
have
change your
different
outfit,
characters.
do your whole
Yes.
character thing and give him a little something different, step your head game up or whatever you got to do
Mhm.
to give him that variety. But those that can't do that, then, that's the other option. That's the perk. They get a variety. They come home, they happy.
And in some situations, some of the therapists, they recommend it for some couples. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, they do, because sometimes it can
What
bring
therapist you
well,
talking
it could not. I'm just saying, like, sometimes it brings benefits that the relationship might be missing. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah,
one
especially
of
if
the
the guy has
partners.
ED,
What if
right?
the guy got? What if the partner got ED?
Mhm.
You know
But
what I mean?
being with another woman won't help his
It ain't gonna help.
No,
but
but
it's gonna
the
help her.
woman
It's gonna
can
help
get
her.
her.
Oh,
It's
that
gonna
helps
help
her.
her. You
That's
know,
true.
that could satisfy her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you
I
have,
see that.
Yeah, that can happen, and that's a benefit for her. She
She might
gonna
still
find that to
want
be
her
very
same
happy.
man, but
you
she
know?
still might want to get right a few times.
Exactly.
a month.
Yeah.
You know?
that.
You know, in that case-
So
I can see
hold
that your
on.
man was
Hold on.
paralyzed. I had a
Yeah,
stroke.
but he has to
Yeah.
watch.
I get that. I can do
You know?
that.
I'm-
And then you have
Trying to
some.
finish
You,
him
hey,
off.
yeah, you
You
have.
heard
You have
Alicia
some, yeah, you
talking
have-
about he got to watch. I said, you trying to finish him off.
No, and then you have some of the couples that like to watch too,
Watch
because
it.
there are
Yeah.
couples that like
like
that's
to
into that
watch.
kind of stuff. They may
Because
want to watch.
if his penis isn't working, his mouth does. So watch what we're doing, and then
So
it's like a
beneficial.
pregame.
And then with
He can do the
understanding,
pregame and then the other dude.
So you would be comfortable with somebody?
Me, I'm just talking in general.
the other
No, Alexis, because I was just talking
she
in
want to
general.
watch. She
I
want to
would-
watch.
Only reason I would say no for my personal preference is because it's too much going on. Like I wouldn't know like who was doing what and stuff like that. That would freak me out.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't be comfortable with all that spit swapping and all that. Like I would be like, no, weren't you just over? Like no. So, but I think generally speaking, that would be a nice, It's like
So
watching.
would that be the only benefit though? Like
No,
if somebody
no,
had a
everybody's
That's just one
fulfilled
of
and
the
happy.
benefits.
No one's
The-
frustrated
yeah.
because the penis ain't working. So
Right.
or
Yeah.
if what she did not
And-
enjoy sex.
But not only if the
with
penis-
him, with the paralyzed guy.
No, I'm trying to figure this out because
I think if she's not enjoying sex with her partner,
partner,
we need to
yeah.
go.
Well, not necessarily.
Are
but
we,
he may.
are we just talking
If he
about
doesn't-
sexual
if he
relationships?
doesn't have a
and
medical
open
problem,
relationships?
I'm
an
leaving.
open relationship.
Well, just open, not just sexual. There's other benefits too, not just sexual. Maybe
What's the
that
other
person. The other
benefits?
benefits is maybe that person got the ability to provide for her in a different way that one person may not.
Financially.
Yeah, or maybe he may
Team
be,
building.
Maybe her partner may not be as romantic, but there's other person or
No, we
her,
gotta fix
she
that,
may be romantic.
right?
And then not only that.
so
the
what?
other-
Wouldn't you just
Some
leave
people you
him?
can't.
To
I'm
go?
saying you could, but
So
what
what?
if
That's
they
not my
won't because they got
person
that
then.
emotional attachment?
If
The
he
other
not
thing
giving me
is, I
all I
think too,
need.
it would keep down. It would allow them control. So now they can kind of have a little bit more control of who they partner dealing with. You know what I mean? So now that person not out doing things with multiple different other people that they don't know about. So now they know about this person or
Right.
whatever they're dealing with. So I just think it just comes with a lot of, understanding. and whatever the boundaries that they set in that particular relationship.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I think it could work. I think it do got
Conversation.
benefits. You know what I mean? I think you just being open, because at the end of the day, if you know your partner, let's say got certain characteristics that's going to involve them being with other men or other women. And you not.
Wait,
and
hold
you
on.
know,
What, Ricky?
I said if you have
Your
if you know
partner.
your partner, whether it's
Whether
a
you're
man
male
or
or whether you are a male
you
or
are
female.
Okay.
female,
I don't think he meant.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I'm saying your partner. I'm just speaking
Gotcha,
in general.
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
If you know that they have a high sexual appetite and
Yeah.
you don't, you know what I'm saying? Whether you're the
Right.
male or the female.
I don't think that's
then
my
that may
person
be-
then, right?
Well,
We're
no,
not
but I'm just saying,
compatible.
but you may really
Right.
like
But
that.
some people
but
are
listen,
married.
I get
though
what
to
you're
guys
saying.
like that.
But if it
Whatever
comes at a
works for
different
that
point in the
person.
relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever
Because
works for
there are
that
time
relationship.
periods- there are time periods that women go through
Mhm.
a period where their sex drive is higher than the male,
Absolutely.
and vice versa.
So then it's like open doors during those moments.
No,
After
no,
the
it's
discussion.
just- no, I
it's the
don't
conversation.
think that.
Why I
After
say the
discussion.
benefits, it's the conversation. Like, hold up, we together,
is a
we married,
conversation.
we ain't finna get divorced.
Right.
But hey, here goes some
But this.
alternatives. You
I
know
get
what I mean?
that.
So that's
Right.
what I'm saying. That's for
Compromise.
benefits. So that's what some people may choose to do. I don't know. I'm just looking at the benefits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know,
I think
I'm
it's
all
best
for
benefit is
compromise,
team
but
building.
And
I'm not
team
coming-
building. Hey, and then
At the
also
end-
too,
Team
the other thing is
Bring
too,
that
it's
check
just
in.
another check
Put
coming,
that
another
check without
income in
check.
the household.
Well,
you
this
know,
is
so
the
now
thing.
instead
If
of two,
you
now you
have-
got
But
three
is it
incomes.
really another house?
Everybody's
You
building.
have to address those type of things in your relationship. Because if you're with somebody for 25, 30 years, which none of us have experienced
A lot of
being with
stuff
anybody
is gonna change.
that long, there are things going to change. And you
Yeah.
have to be willing to talk about it and address it.
Yeah.
You know, you got women who don't want to talk about it, who don't want to address it, and they turn the cheek. And
And it's
those are the men
happening.
that cheat.
Yeah.
Those are the men that go out and do it behind their back.
Mhm.
But then they have to be like, hey, I'm not sexual. My man is sexual. What do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't deny him of something that he feels he needs to keep him happy.
Especially if you've been doing it for
Right.
a certain amount of time.
And
And
if
you
you're
switch
not
up.
trying
that
to
is
leave,
my
if you're-
compromise.
if
If
you're
he
not
want it,
trying
I'm gonna
to-
give it to him.
But think
Oh, but what if
And
you
I'm
say
with you.
no?
I'm
Hey.
giving
A couple
my
of
man
How
times.
he
what
wants
need.
it,
But-
when he wants.
All of
But,
that.
but again,
But what if it's a
but
time
what if-
where you can't?
But what if he's saying he just wants something new? It ain't that he
No,
wants.
I feel like that's self control. You need to control that little aspect because that's a small.
Absolutely.
It
What-
control
that is
it.
small.
What new?
Absolutely.
What's
it ain't,
new?
It ain't nothing small about that. If it was small,
If
it
you
wouldn't be
want a
so
little
many
something.
relationships and lives being ruined
Right,
off
yeah,
of that.
absolutely.
That's something.
But
I think
look,
Okay,
Science
but let
it's
me ask you a
because of-
question, and I'm talking directly to you, not hypothetically. Are we speaking in general?
Talking about me.
What if you wanted some new ass,
Mm-hmm.
and you say, "Hey, I just every now and then I just want something new." Can she go get something new every now and then?
And you know what I would
I'm
say?
asking you.
And you know what I would say? I didn't know you was like that.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I'm just saying because I wasn't know in the
So
beginning.
she said-
you
if
knew
you
I
say-
was like that.
but if you
I
say
didn't know you
that-
was like that.
But okay, she is like that. Now what?
Already.
Well,
if
I'm
she's
like that. Wait, I'm like that because you
Does that-
like that now.
No,
No.
okay,
But
Well,
does that
but I'm saying-
change how you see her?
Right. Well, that
Would it
change how you
change?
see
No,
her.
because I already know what type of woman you is and how you get down.
So it's
that's
okay?
what no, is it okay?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
okay.
for her
Answer
to
the
do
question.
that?
For both of y'all.
All right. So what's the question again?
For both of y'all to be outside.
If you want to be outside in them streets,
In the streets.
and you need something new, and she says, "Okay, I'm cool with that, but I also want something new every now and then." Are you cool with that?
Let's go together.
But what you mean go together?
I'm just joking.
What
No, I don't
train?
I
I'd
didn't
be-
think so.
Go together, me and
what I
trains?
would say, no, I don't mean trains, but what I would say is, would I be okay with it again? I probably wouldn't want to be involved with that type of woman.
Oh, okay.
But if
All
you, saying that you
So there ain't no
are,
fun
you
when the
want
rabbit
to
got
go
gone.
outside for a
No,
little bit,
who
but she
said-
can't.
But who said I wanted to do it though?
No, let's just say
I
you
ain't say I
do.
was-
Let's just say you do. Hypothetically,
Mhm.
you do want to go outside, get you a little new piece,
Okay.
and she's like, what she said, like,
Yeah.
can I get
Okay.
something? And you like, so what you say? No,
Again, hypothetically.
it's okay.
Again, I'm saying
Both
hypothetically.
both of
yeah,
us can get it.
Hypothetically. Yes.
no, I don't
Hypothetically.
want a hypothetical.
Hypo- whatever she
I don't
asked
want.
No,
a-
but he said when you say hypothetical, he said he wouldn't want to say I want a little piece on the side.
Yeah.
right, and I get why.
Ricky said he is
we're
happy
being
in his
transparent
relationship.
here.
He don't
I'm
want
not
to
Don't-
trying to
yeah.
throw your
Uh-huh.
relationship in a curve. But let me ask Kurt,
Oh Lord.
my dog.
Mhm.
Kurt, you with a woman. You let her know I'm being honest with you. I love you. Everything about you. I want to be with you. But every now and then, I just want to hit a little something else.
Mhm.
And she said, "Okay, baby, let me think about it." She's thinking about, she come back, she's like, all right, you can do that. But I also get a little bored and I want a little something extra. Is that okay? Are you down with it?
It's very much okay.
Okay, see?
But are you putting stipulations on it? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
do you
not
have to come
putting-
to the board and
I'm gonna
say
tell y'all what a lot of people don't understand.
what?
Come on.
It's okay, but then the whole ramifications of the relationship is gonna change.
Like what?
Everything.
But would it change? Wait, but would it change if it's just you out in them streets?
I feel
Would
like
the
it always
relationship
change. I feel
would
like the
change.
people always get affected. Like if I've done something and she don't like it and I've been caught, her handle with me, and I've seen it firsthand. It's happened with people. It's changed once they saw me in a different light. So I say everybody ain't ready for everybody's truth
Right.
and what people
I
men.
agree.
I had to learn this in the last handful of years. Men really sometimes, like you say, I just heard you say a couple times, like, then that's not my person.
Mm-hmm.
Men don't mind marrying a woman who they know don't satisfy them in the sexual nature, but they like to go and hang out and have
That
fun in
is
other
a
places.
Why?
And
Why
me,
is that, Kurt?
But
I
that
don't
is a
know
fact.
because
He
me,
is not
I'm
lying.
like, I
You
want
want
my
all of
woman.
it.
I want my woman to be
All of that.
my
Yeah.
hope.
But
Right.
but you know what? I
That's
think
how I
Lady
want
in the
my
streets
woman
and
to
a
be.
freak in the
Yes.
Yeah,
but you know,
but
I
some
think that
people-
works for
He's not
both.
lying.
They don't be like
He's
that.
not
They
I
lying.
think in general for both sexes,
They be wanting
people
their wife to
settle
be
a
lame.
lot.
They do.
Absolutely.
And then you
I
have
don't settle
because we
on
make
sex.
for society
I ain't
based,
settle
like
on
we
either.
think like the sexual part is being vain, and it's not. I
It's
feel like
not.
that's the whole complete circle that you
That's
need.
how your relationship, the happiness start in a
Yes.
relationship
Yes.
with
Yeah.
the sex.
It's okay
then
to
the
want
money,
that.
Yes.
And
and then
perfect.
everything else you
Oh,
can work
yeah,
on.
I agree.
Yeah.
You can
Sex
teach
is
a man
huge
how
to
to
me.
take you out and date
Mhm.
you and
Yeah.
do sweet stuff. You can't teach them how to get you right
Right.
in that room.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's
You
some
can-
you
women
can
that
help
think
them.
that
You
you can
It's
train
tricky.
a man.
I ain't
You
training
can.
shit.
You can.
Look,
You could
man.
teach them.
You
I
can.
mean,
You
The
can.
woman, but you
I
have
want
to
this-
have a man who's open to receive that.
I want
That
this
part.
to be in you regardless
That
of me.
part.
I need this to be within you regardless of your relationship with me. Like I need you to be a nice quality man without me being involved with you. Because when you're mad at me, I need you to be the same way. If you just treat women in general amazing, you're gonna treat me. I mean, obviously, when you fall in love with me, we're gonna have
Yeah.
you're gonna go above. But in general, like that, those core character traits, I need you to have.
Yes. No, I agree with that. That
Mhm.
part. But we were on the sex part. But there are some situations where you can teach a man how to perform for you because every woman is different sexually.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You just want your partners,
So
and vice versa for you
if
too,
you
right?
want to take the time, and I think that you have to. There was a time I was like, I ain't teaching a man, and I want him
Yeah.
to come and know. But I've learned in this age, you still have to teach them
Yeah.
the things that get you off
Mm-hmm.
because they don't automatically know that.
I think people are weary of the term teach because they're like, you didn't teach me shit. But
Yeah,
it's
I
just
think
like
it's
just
what
learning
teaching-
each
and
other.
teaching
It's
is
the
just
same
saying.
thing.
But each
Yeah.
person
I'm
is
just playing
different.
these.
Right.
I'm just playing these key factors out for you.
Yeah.
If you want to say teach,
You know,
say teach.
I like a little this and like a little that in
Yeah.
bed. I need you
Make
to
me
position
happy
me
and
like
vice
this because my
versa.
G spot is here.
Yes.
And
You know what I mean?
and
Mhm.
we all have a story to this point, and how we got is just like sometimes you don't even want to know, or we don't think about how the person who we like having sex with, how they even got to this point. You feel me? Like,
Well, gosh.
like what? Who taught you? Or girl, where you learn how to? Because I'm thinking about we talking about, and I'm thinking about when I learned certain things along the way, and I'm like, well, I can't even say this out
How I
loud,
learned.
like how I learned to do that.
Right.
Because people
But I
be
don't
like,
be care
boy,
about
you
that.
wow, but you may not care about it.
I get what
but
you're saying,
it
though.
affects how people.
I
you
just
may
wouldn't
not
even
care
turn
about
left.
it, but
I'm not turning left
you know
wondering
what I'm
how you
saying?
learned this little
But-
corner.
No,
but
I'm
it-
glad
it
you
also-
learned it. Kudos
Yeah.
to me.
Alicia,
That's all you gotta go.
Yes,
All you
right.
say
You know what I
is
mean?
But it also depends on the
It's a
person
gift.
you with too.
Listen, kudos to
It's
the
a
bitch you
gift.
talk to. 'cause
it
now
just
I'm
came
getting
to
it.
me.
Don't let me
That's
know.
how I
But-
look at
But
it.
it depends on the person you with too, because sometimes certain people could bring certain things out of you.
Mm.
True.
And sometimes you have the
True.
ability
No, I
to do
ain't
that
even
too
worried
as
how you
well.
got
True.
here.
And
I
then
just do
sometimes
it.
we all just got us so preset, you know, like, I remember being 14 and watching my first flick, and I'm just like, I'm gonna do that. It wasn't nasty to me. I'm like, I can't wait to try that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, and you know, some people ill. That I know some dudes 49, they still like ill to some certain shit. I'm like, I be thinking in my head like, Yeah,
Bruh.
your lady gonna cheat on you.
Yeah.
She gonna cheat on you with a dude like me too.
Oh God.
Cause they ain't saying any of that. I'm like, come here.
Right?
Come
that
here.
part. Love the ego. The ego is everything.
Yeah, and oh boy,
I saw this
we have
this
a lot
clip
of it.
on Instagram where this couple had been married for, and you shared it with me, 16 years.
Oh yeah,
And she went somewhere, fell in love with this man that was, I think she was in her 40s and he was in his 30s at the time. Went home and told her husband.
she got 2 husbands.
Oh, she
Now
has 2
he-
husbands now.
Yes.
Oh, it's
but
in
he's
a TLC
younger.
movie? I mean,
Yes,
TLC.
TLC show. They have a reality show.
She's trying to get a third. This that lady.
She in the streets.
Yeah.
She got 2 husbands at home. They
Yeah,
went
I'm
house
not
hunting.
quite
Did you see when
understanding.
they went house
Yes.
hunting?
And
And
that's,
I'm
that
like-
second one getting so jealous though. You see that?
I
No,
didn't
no,
know.
her first husband looked jealous because
No, the
even
first
though-
one I felt like he don't
the
care.
second
The
one
light
was
skin
the
one
one
with
he
the
was
locks.
like, yeah.
but
He
it was
don't
the
care.
way that he was. So
The
I,
light skin
I
was
look
the
at his
first
face.
He,
one.
he already
First.
broken.
Oh.
The
I
first
feel
one
like-
already broke.
No, I
He
feel
broke
like
in.
the
He
first
broke
one
in.
just don't want to be laying it down no more. He don't care. I feel like.
Yeah, the
I was
had
thinking
his
some
own
erectile
room.
dysfunction
No,
type.
yeah.
I feel like
the
he have his own room. He chilling. He like to read his books.
So
He
he got his
said
own room.
he like that. But the other one, the second
I
husband
didn't
that
know
shares
that
the room with her,
Like Luther
is
Ball
mad that
said.
she wants a
saying-
third
Yeah,
husband
I
because she
never
want to have
seen
her
See,
that.
I didn't get to the third
Yeah.
husband. I
Oh.
only saw
The
2.
second
She's dating for the third.
The
She's-
second
she's
was
dating
just like, what if
multiple
somebody
guys.
else give her an
Yeah.
experience that I
Because
can't
he's
give
just
her?
like, how
He
am I gonna
was
have
like-
sex now?
He was
'Cause
like,
if
I
leave
can
out
make
the
more
room.
money. I can do, but I can't give her the
Mhm.
fun, the excitement that she's looking for.
Listen,
But it's like,
We
why
had
you
that in
getting
the group
mad?
chat.
You number 2.
City
She-
girls
Sit
up by
down.
100.
What's the name of
Right.
City girls
What is
up
that?
by
It's
100.
called
No, that's what I
Sinking.
said.
Yeah.
It's
I
called
gave her the
Sinking
credit.
Brother.
I said,
City
well,
girls
she
up by 100 on that one, baby.
She is like really ruling. The
She
relationship.
is
Yeah.
for the
She is.
street.
She is.
No, she
No, no,
not.
no.
Yes, she is.
No, she
No.
not. She running her. She
No,
got
no,
her
no.
shit in
I
her
think
house.
she-
No,
and
what it
she
sounds like, I ain't
No,
never
no,
saw
no.
it. Sound like she got to understand him.
She got to
She does.
understand
Gotta
she's
understand
working it.
that we may not
It's
be
just
able to
the-
comprehend.
Yeah,
it.
it ain't
I
for
really-
her, but she got to understand.
She-
I
gotta
really
understand.
can't because
Alexis.
I'm telling you,
How many
You got
husbands
two-
You got?
how
She
many
got 2 working on 3.
how many could I
Working on
have?
3.
How many could I have
She
had?
got 2 in the
Hold
house.
Working on 3.
Because we're
Team
not
building.
saying
Hold up, look how I get closer to the mic.
Team
Team building.
She team building.
Listen.
One investor, one got running businesses.
Oh,
Man, she living her wildest dreams,
Wow.
man. They ain't mad at her.
Yeah.
I
She
don't
for
got
the
enough.
street.
I don't
Yeah,
have
she
enough
for the
vagina
streets,
for all
huh?
of
I
that.
don't have enough vagina for all that
But
either.
this what y'all
However, I ain't mad
forgetting.
at sis.
You
I
be
ain't mad at
thinking
sis.
she doing it like that.
They've
Like you
been
say,
doing it
first
for
husband might got ED.
years.
Yeah, it looks like they don't even have
Second
sex
dude
at all.
might do it just enough. She like, man, let me go out and find a little fun to bring
I feel like
in.
she's getting bored with
Team
that
build.
second window.
Yeah.
Team
both
build.
But
are
she's
boring.
like, I just want
Bring
something.
in
so.
the
Why
lunch.
not
They both
replace
are
him?
boring.
Like for real,
Because
Because
I
he's
think
an
if
investor.
2 dicks cannot satisfy you, then why do you need a third? Like
Because-
replace
It's not
them.
a-
Because
it's not
he's
all about
team
just the
building.
sex
Yeah.
Either though, Alexis. It's
You
not
ain't
all
hear
about
what she
just the
said.
sex.
The first husband got 3 businesses. The second one know how to invest that money. They team building.
They gotta,
Right. It's
Now
not
she
all
finna bring
about-
in somebody
I
who
think
do
each
real
one of them
estate
add something different.
and
It's
buy
not about
buildings.
sex. It's more about they giving her. You ain't never date 2 guys before you wish.
Let me tell you
those
something.
2 was one.
No.
You've never been. You come
So
on.
She finna make her
you
3
made
one.
the comment once before, right?
Mm-hmm.
To just I don't think you said play the field. I don't
No.
think those were your words.
I can state them again for you clearly.
Oh,
But you said just date.
So when I say, first of all, she's married. That's different. So I said, when you are a single woman
Mm-hmm.
and you are looking and you're out, you can date multiple guys if that's to figure out the one that's the husband. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
You
so
can't date one guy and date him for 2 years and then the relationship don't work. Then you done gave him 2 years and you could have been.
it's
dating
still a
other
lesson
guys.
learned. It's still a
And I
lesson
ain't saying
learned.
sex. I'm saying going out on dates. I'm not saying
If
sleeping with everybody.
Tiffany, let me tell you how I'm built.
That's you.
But yeah.
But you asked me.
I didn't.
I'm just
I didn't either.
Tiffany.
I didn't.
You was complaining
said-
about her being
said,
for the
how could
streets,
she
and
do
I
it?
said that
Yeah.
woman
Right.
Yeah,
got
I'm
two
like
She
if
husbands.
too. So I'm
I'm
giving
like,
it
she
from
done
my-
won twice.
I'm giving
Twice, 2
my
times.
from my perspective.
All right. Why you think she's for the street?
I'm sorry.
But she's getting all those penises at once.
correct.
She
Who
only
said she's
getting
sleeping
two.
with all of them?
And
I
you
really
know the
think-
first husband done.
I
And you
really
know the
think-
first husband done.
I really think
So
she's
he
only-
said. So you think she's not sleeping with him
You
at
can
all?
see
I
it on
really
his
think
face.
she's
As a
only
man,
getting one.
You see it on his face.
Yeah,
the fact that
honestly.
he
You
allowed her
watch
to
the
get the
show?
second one, you know it.
Watch the show.
I only watched the one
Hey.
clip that was.
Yeah, I
Alexis.
honestly think she's only getting one
Alexis.
penis at a
And
time.
what-
Alexis.
It's on
Seeking
TLC.
brother wife.
I
hold
don't
on.
even know
something like
the
that.
name of it. We just shared it in the group, and I shared it. with
No,
some other
it's on
folks.
TLC. She got a
Oh.
whole show.
Seeking brother wife.
A whole show or a
Yeah.
whole show?
No, because y'all said she's not for
An
the street.
entire.
No, I don't think
No,
so.
because I don't
And
think
she's
she's-
not
Ale-
being like a
she's
whore
not-
name.
Hey,
I
Alexis.
just think that they what we
Alexis.
talked about.
She got a three. She got me. You know M2May song. Me, you, and him.
Yeah,
That's what she got.
Alexis.
I think she simply got what we talked about. You know what I mean? They have a
It's a
clear understanding. They have an
relationship.
open relationship.
Yeah,
they have a
it's
clear
communication.
understanding.
Clear
They
understanding.
have barriers, and they both understand.
It's
And
called
what-
Seeking Brother Husband.
Seeking brother husband. And what I watched her do, if I'm really into detail, what I watched her do on the show
Mm-hmm.
was be intimate with each one, and not in
In
not
front
in
of
a
each
way,
other too, right?
not in a way of like there were moments she would rub
Mm-hmm.
one guy's hand, the other one she would wrap her arm
Yep.
like this around. She knew how to cater
Yes.
to both of them.
It almost seemed like teacher
You got
students.
women can't do that to one man. So sis, bravo.
She a pimp.
Bravo.
Wow.
Yeah, I
She
just
got-
don't have
you know.
enough vagina for all of those.
Guess
but,
what,
you know.
Alexis? What you
What?
said about the first husband. Most women, when they are sexually satisfied, they ain't looking for no other man for that.
Yeah.
That's why I say he's broke or coming up short at this point when it comes to that.
But it's not only just sexually
And you can see it in
satisfied.
you can see it in his face.
But it's
Like,
not
then
just
number
sexually
two-
satisfied. You got some men
And they had
Number
that
kids.
don't
The
know
first
how
husband had
to
kids.
give a woman,
Grown kids.
depending on her love language, words of affirmation. For
That
instance,
too.
you know, if they don't know how to say
Number-
you're beautiful,
number
you
two
look good,
scared
they look for
because
that in
he
other
sees
men.
that-
Help them.
Yeah.
what
And
he
I feel
thought
like that
that he
first
was gonna be
husband's
the
a
man.
friendship
The
at this
second
point.
one's like,
I think she married
yeah,
her best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she married her best
and
friend.
had
the
kids
first
with him.
husband.
Yeah.
The second guy,
It's
he's in there
just-
now, and now he's scared because he knows
Somebody
she's
gonna-
looking for somebody
Mhm.
to fill in his lack thereof.
Yep.
Like,
Right.
I'm not satisfying her anymore.
Mhm.
The first one, he was like, my name on all the life insurance shit. He ain't worrying about nothing. He like, I done raised our kids. We got
Neither
these
one of them
businesses.
look like they can
This dude,
be
yeah.
sexually.
That-
This
especially
dude
that
invest in the
second
money.
one. I'm like,
Right.
Not a dude. The
second
second
one
dude,
like
he
that.
like, she gonna go out there and find somebody younger, do the same thing to him. Like, you feel me? And what I said to you
like,
on that.
that's why she went
I'd have to
there.
go back and
Yeah.
check. I mean, you were fine with it.
Yeah, she pimping.
I just.
But I think it's. I don't think she's for the streets solely because there's communication, it's honest
Mhm.
communication between them three.
communication.
And she open.
It doesn't
Kids,
seem like
nobody,
anybody's being
everybody
deceptive
happy.
or
They like they
anything.
stepdaddy, man. Leave them
Yeah.
people
Okay,
alone.
so let me ask this.
Kurt,
Let me
look
ask
at-
this.
Kurt on the strong Kurt, you got your bag in the car.
Team building,
If-
man.
If your person, and I'm saying person because I'm talking to all y'all.
Mm-hmm.
If you're with somebody and they're honest, hey, you know, I like to go out and, you know, do a little, just because somebody's honest, that doesn't mean they're for the streets. Like,
No.
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 I just think we're saying she's not for the streets because she's in
She ain't out there
two
like
marriages. So she's in committed relationships
Yeah,
as
if
far
she
as
was
those
for the
two.
streets, she wouldn't
She's
even have
not
that
just
show.
casually out there going out there
Yeah.
having sex with other men. Like it's
Right.
discussion.
I need to look up
She's
the
look-
laws on polygamy.
She's looking
and
for
where
a
it's
third
legal.
husband. She's not looking for no more like a third dick per se. It's like she wants a third husband.
Right.
So she's like wanting to get into a third committed relationship.
Right.
So it's
She
not like she just out there.
Because
wanna
listen,
have
you
sex. That's
would
not
say
what it's
she-
about.
you would say she for the streets, and she might not even slept with 5 men her whole life.
She
Right.
probably.
Yeah.
Right.
She
Right.
probably has,
But I
I'm
think
saying,
the opposite
it
of
could
that-
be the
Because
case.
that's what you
You
said,
feel me?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to watch it. It's
Yeah,
a
you gotta
little.
People can only. I
I'll
mean,
check it out. I
It's,
just,
it's
Everybody
not for
appetite
many
different,
folks.
man.
It's definitely not for
That's
me.
not
but
for me.
Yeah.
I want one man.
I can't keep track
one
of
man
it,
only.
bro.
But
It's not
what's
for me.
important, I think, is identifying that other person that's cool with that. You know?
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah, just
Define
get your
that.
people.
That's-
Get
they
your
out there.
tribe.
That's
Get
That's
your
the most
people.
special trait.
You know, once you identify that person who down with what you down with,
Yeah.
you know, that's what makes a
Right.
great relationship
Yes,
great.
get
you know what
your
I mean?
lid to your
And
pot.
what tend to
Simple
happen
as
a lot
that.
of times in a lot of
That's right.
Whatever it
relationships,
is.
you have one person that's down with doing what they want to do, and you have the other person that's not cool with it, and then that's
Right.
a
That's
problem.
not your people.
Because it
Right.
ain't no understanding there. But when you got a situation and a setup like that, you know, you can
That's
make
why
it and
folks
have
need to be
happiness.
honest.
They need to be
That's
honest
when
'cause
you're
you can't
honest with
force
who you
anybody
are.
to do what you want to do.
Yes.
So that's why you need to be and allow people to exit left
Mm-hmm.
accordingly.
Yeah, just be honest
No
with what
hate,
you
no
want.
malice, no upsetness. I'm exiting left. That is not something I want to get into or I want to do. Thank you. You have a nice life.
But again, and that's
You
why
know what I mean?
sometimes
People
people
know
lie.
that.
That's why people lie.
Right,
and
because
be
they don't want that
untruthful.
person
Because
to
they're gonna
leave.
lose
But
out
you're
on
selling
the
you're
benefits.
selling yourself short as well as the other person. Like tell the truth and get what you
But
need.
Alicia,
You're not gonna get what you need lying and being
But you
deceptive.
get what you
Right.
want.
yeah.
But do you really?
Alicia,
people do.
Do you really
Alicia,
get what you want
You
at
get
the
what you
end
want.
if you're being
Alicia.
so deceptive?
And people truth change from
Well,
year to
'cause
year too.
People
Yes,
get
that's
what
why
they
I
want
think
for a
it's
while.
Somebody
communication.
can tell you
Found
their
out.
truth at the beginning,
It changed.
and
People
9
grow
months later they have a different truth.
because people
Right.
grow into different things.
Right.
Yeah,
But
then
you need
some
to have
people
that
can
open
change-
discussion.
But then some people can change your thought process. On
Mhm.
some
That
things.
too.
You can meet
Yeah.
someone and be like, wow, this person
Yes.
made me believe in monogamy. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Or this person is everything that
We're-
I need. So,
Mhm.
you know, you
We're
don't
all
know.
Facts.
we're always at a battle of wits with the opposite sex.
True.
Like we all want to have the upper hand and the advantage, however that may be. However, we want to be sleep comfortable at night. We want to, you know, but it's hard to tell the 100% truth about any and everything
I agree.
because I know for a fact if people knew 100% of my truths or my past, it'll shed a whole different type of light. And it's just some stuff people don't need to know.
Right.
But
And
those aren't
it
your-
don't even have to be about relationships.
Mhm.
But those aren't your.
Is-
That's not your tribe. I don't think everybody in the whole world needs to know 100% about you. But your close friends, your partners,
Not even
whatever.
especially your
I
close
think you need to
friends.
share those. Your close
Nah.
friend. I could tell my close friends
Shit, I don't even know
100%
my
of who
close
I
friends
am.
are at this
So
point,
a friend
man.
of mine, he and I had a discussion, and he said to me, "Tiffany, I have 4 lives." And I said, "What do you mean?" And it made sense. He said, "I have a professional life, I have a public life, I have a personal life, and I have a private life."
Mhm.
Exactly.
He said, and everybody's not in each one of those
Mhm.
lives.
Exactly.
He said, "My private life is mine. My kids don't even have." And I get it, like something just said, "Da-da," in my head when he
Mhm.
said that. Because I wholeheartedly understand that. I get that your private life, your kids aren't even privy to that. You know,
Yeah.
your partner would be in that private life. And whatever you guys choose to do in that, that's your private
Yeah.
life. That is not for everybody else. So I get that. And
I agree.
yeah, so I think that's a perfect way of saying it, you know. You got those 4 lives, your private life, and your personal life is totally different from your
Yeah.
private life.
But I feel like your
And
close
different
friends
people.
should be in that private life character.
well, I think not all your
Everybody
close
ain't
friends.
said
But
that.
Not
when
all of them.
but when I say close friends, I'm talking about like your close friends,
But
not your acquaintances
you
or
don't
your
have-
But Alicia, if
classmates.
you, I
Sometimes
think
you
you're
don't
like
even
me when
know.
you have a small circle.
Yeah,
Like your friends,
I could
are
be
not
myself
like a
authentically.
whole-
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
embarrassed
Hey.
about anything. I can solely tell these
Right.
like,
No, I get that.
and it's like literally like
It
not
ain't
even a
even-
whole hand.
It
You
ain't
know,
even it
No, I
ain't
get
even
that. I'm
about
with
being
you. I'm with
embarrassed
you on that.
sometimes. It's just like I got one of my closest friends, we got the same address on our license. And I never get an invite from him outside of certain stuff that ain't work related. You feel me? He got a whole life, whole set of friends, how he hang, and vice versa. It's certain things that he doesn't ever say or mention in front of me because of how I may respond to act. And I'm pretty sure it's things that I've said in the past
Right.
that
Mhm.
made him like
and
that.
you love your
And
friends,
vice versa.
but they
And
can't
like
know everything.
my
Yeah.
mom, my
Friends can't
mom,
know
my
everything.
mom
I think it's
came-
just
my
different
mom came-
definitions.
My
of
mom
close
came
friends.
to the shop last week and dropped both our mail off. That's how close we
Yeah,
are.
I get what you're
He get his
saying.
mail at my parents'
I think just
home,
people
and he
have
owns a
different
home. You feel me?
definitions of their
But
close friends.
We don't divulge information and stuff. Like me and him done lived together before.
But then you gotta think about this too,
We
Kurt.
live together.
Women and men are
And-
different.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all really don't even y'all don't
But see,
tell.
I'm
You know,
different
we're
to the
more
point where
I don't
I'm
tell-
open. Like he my homeboy, I would probably tell him any and everything. But because
Mhm.
I know he doesn't with me, I've grown to be like that
Gotcha.
With
now.
him. Got
So
it.
it's just like, yeah, I draw a line with him. He draw a
Right.
line with me, and it's just like, oh, so and
do
so
you
didn't
think
tell
it's
you. I'm like, he
because-
don't hang with me outside the shop.
Do you
Like,
think it's because he thinks you may judge him to some degree?
It ain't
that
even-
he doesn't want you
it
to
ain't-
be in that part of his life.
It's not even
I
that.
respect it. I'm not mad at people
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Nah.
Because all of my girlfriends, I have great girlfriends,
Yeah.
but half are in my personal, and there are maybe
Yeah.
one or two in
Yeah.
my private.
I'm not
I agree.
And it's
judgmental of my
just the way it
homeboys
is.
at all. You
Okay.
feel me? I'm not judgmental of my homeboys or my homegirls. Actually,
Mhm.
it's just some people, they start handling, like you say, before we was a certain type of way. And like I
Mhm.
said, it might have could have been something that I did, said, done, like not even knowing.
Right.
And that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
People can tell
Yeah.
you one thing or you can learn something about them. Like if you learn one thing one time about one friend, it might cause you to look at her totally different. Like, damn, I didn't know she had that in her.
Yeah.
She's still your friend, but you might start treading a different way with
Mhm.
and around her because
Yeah.
of one thing you learned or she said. And I know a certain shit in my past that I did, and it's like, damn, bro, you did that. Like,
Yeah.
and sometimes it could be a pat on the back for me, but it might be somebody else might know
Yeah.
to find out and be like,
But
"Bro,
what
I ain't
I've
think
learned
you
from
had that
certain
in you, like,
situations like that,
you really killed 3 people." Or like,
Right.
Oh,
right.
God.
I see what you're saying.
it
yeah.
is just
but
like,
those when
to
that
know-
when that
know
happens to
that
me
about
in
somebody, you hear me?
relationships and friendships, I move those people out certain categories.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Because
that's
like
what I'm
I
saying.
can't
Yeah.
be, I
It
Move
can't
them out
causes
your
be.
shit.
personal or your
comfortable.
private life,
Yeah.
and they're a
Mhm.
part of your public or
Yeah.
professional life.
And I didn't
Yeah,
realize
for
that
sure.
until like maybe a couple years ago. Cause you like when my friends like accept you for who you are 100%, even though our morals and ethics are online.
Mhm.
But you can't have those type of people in your close
No.
friendships because they gonna bite you.
Mm.
If they biting other people around you, like they want to do that, they
But
gonna do
see,
you.
I learned those lessons, and
And
now
see-
my girl circles, I don't really do new.
You have to have
women.
the same parallel
I have
morals
the
and ethics,
same
right?
girlfriends I've had since childhood.
Mhm.
I do not really do new friends
Yeah.
like that. So I've gained maybe 1 or 2 new friends within the last few years. And that's because of they were friends of someone else that was a friend of mine.
Mhm.
But I've grown to, they know who I know who I'm.
Yeah.
No judgment. We get along
Yeah.
really well. But I'm very, very picky about my friend circle.
Yes.
And that's different with women too, because like you just said, even with my homeboy, yeah, we draw lines in the sand with each other. But if he called me, I'd probably be his first call if he was in a certain type of trouble,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
I'm gonna respond,
Well, you know
and
who that
vice
friend
versa.
is.
Yeah.
Like, he not gonna say nothing
You have
about it.
that
He
one
might
friend.
crack a joke with me, be like, "Boy, you got yourself into one this time." And but I know with him, it won't never go past us,
Mhm.
type
Right.
of thing, because of how he is. He'll act like it never happened or,
For sure.
forgot
We'll
about it.
never
Like,
talk
he'll
about
help
it
me
again.
clean up the mess, type of thing.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
you just know with certain people, look at here, man. Men are different.
Yeah.
I know
just
my
did.
girlfriends know I'm that friend that'll show up with a shovel and a plastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They know I'm her. I
Mhm.
know I probably have one girlfriend out of my friend girl circle that's gonna be like, they come in with a shovel
have
and a
y'all-
plastic bag.
Have y'all
too.
ever been in that position where I said when somebody said something or you were saying something and just because of how they responded or the look you saw on their face, you knew you had to change up your whole
Oh,
handle
yeah.
with them?
Oh,
It,
for
it's
sure.
more so what
Definitely.
they
I'm
because
not
I
even
have
their
this
friend no
Yeah.
aura and spirit that people want to confess
I
all
kinda
type of
need to-
shit
Yeah.
to me. So
have
some
to
things is
move a
just like
certain way around certain people.
what?
Exactly.
Can't be me.
I don't
That's
do
what
that, but I'm just like, oh, let me move you over here because you a
You
little
see-
nasty,
you
little
see what- you
conniving,
see what I'm
little
talking
thief
about?
or deceptive,
Yeah.
you know?
But see, I don't even want you in my circle at that point.
Yeah.
I'm at a point that I don't have a problem with dropping nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
Now
around
I
you.
don't have that
Don't
problem.
talk.
But
Yeah.
I'm done with
that
you.
go
It's
back to
over.
what
I used to be
said
like, I'm
with
accept you
somebody.
for who you are.
Yeah.
We've been
Right.
friends for
See,
so
they thinking you a
long.
safe place and they
Nah.
said one thing, you like,
Whoa.
But now I'm like that because of what has happened in my past.
that's how
Because
we
I've
all
been
are.
so
Right.
acceptive of who you are, but now you biting me. Now you harming
Yeah.
me.
I've been
You
there.
gotta go.
And then I
And now I'm like,
was-
nah.
Like that too. Cool
I was
with
dumb enough to
everybody
let
on
one
the
come
brain.
back
Yeah.
into my life.
Mhm.
I
Want
did not
everybody
gotta
to be
go
on
for
my
so
level
many
at the
years.
same time.
Listen,
in the
at
same
this
place.
age,
It's the worst
you
thing.
got
I
to
should have
go.
went with my gut.
Yeah.
Stay away. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I have been burned multiple times
Yeah.
because I'm too
Mhm.
nice.
You like to extend that grace of people, and sometimes you can't. Like, go over there. I ain't got no more grace in me. You got to go.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't God.
You biting me now. Like, you know,
Thank
you
God.
watch them bite everybody else and you
Thank
just like, they
God.
would never bite you.
Try
Shit. A snake
Try
is
me.
a snake. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Child. So the next topic that's up for discussion is we see on social media so much about the soft life. Soft. I'm living a soft life.
Oh, that soft woman era
Uh-huh.
stuff. Oh,
Yeah.
I got.
How do you
Educate me because
define?
I'm clueless.
I was about to say I got to stay out of this one.
Educate me because
Well,
I'm clueless on it.
no,
What does it
you don't.
mean?
Let me look at the definition.
Yeah. Like, what do you? And I see it, and I'm like,
What's a soft woman?
what is a soft
That's
woman?
I think that's new slang.
up
One
to
of them rappers said that, or
interpretation.
somebody on Instagram said that, like, I'm in my soft woman
Do I
era.
think
But it's
that
so.
I think there's so many women that's so masculine now.
Mhm.
That even the makeup nowadays make the women look masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And features. There's no softness anymore to women. So I guess that's what they're talking about.
Well, so
Am I-
here's okay. So I saw a celebrity, and I love watching her on certain shows. She's a great actress. And so she had this reel where she was like, "Oh, I'm about the soft life now," and so she had like flowers that she was doing, and I'm like, "Well, I like flowers." I have a cousin who said, "Oh, I'm living that soft life," but she had like, it didn't look different. The post that she put up, I'm like, okay,
Are they
you got on a
delusional?
sexy dress.
Are they delusional?
I think it's just a social media
It's-
term.
yeah,
that,
I don't know what that means. I'm not on social
But you
media.
want to
like that.
know
I
what
don't
the
means.
I think that term
dictionary
will be
says?
gone before
Yes.
you out.
Dictionary says.
It says the soft life refers to a lifestyle of comfort and relaxation with minimal challenges or stress.
Oh,
Some people
peaceful
use the
life.
term in reference to a life that involves and is a product of wealth and luxury, while others interpret it as simply being a simplified life unburdened from stress and responsibility.
So look
Then I
up.
live
No,
the
no, no,
soft
no.
life then.
Don't
Then I
live.
live the
Don't
soft
look up
life.
soft life. Look up soft woman.
Oh.
So,
Okay,
cause they
soft
say I'm in my soft woman era.
Yes.
That's what they be
Okay.
saying.
Is that
I
maybe
would think
just
that
your
it would,
peaceful
I think it would
era?
have a
Because
relation.
if that's the case, that's where I'm at. I'm all about
Because I
Some-
had
some
started
ideal
looking
stuff.
up.
Everything about
Oh, I
me
just
soft.
saw.
I had started looking up something. So I
Okay.
was like, what is
So it says a soft woman. Being a soft girl isn't about looks. It's also about expressing emotions, being sentimental or romantic, and embracing one's tender, more gentle side. That is being emotionally soft and vulnerable.
correct?
Okay.
And that's the same thing I had. So the
Yeah.
concept of being a soft woman refers to a woman who is perceived as having traditionally feminine qualities such as kindness, compassion, empathy, and gentleness. The term soft can also be termed as having vulnerability, sensitivity, and emotional openness.
I feel like that's a woman in
That's
general,
what I was gonna
right?
say.
I was
feel
about-
like
I
it's
was
just being
about
a
to
woman.
say.
Yeah.
But
A feminine woman and her
Feminine
feminine.
so
woman.
this
feminine
also
trait.
ties into question 4.
Mhm.
Black women are not often seen as soft women, right?
Mhm.
Because of our experiences.
I'm about to say y'all got different battle scars. But if
But
I
I
see
think-
if I see it in you, I'm bringing it out of you. That's like I said, that's
I-
where I'm at now in life.
Yeah, I agree. I think that as women, we hold on to things a lot longer than people, and we need to learn to start shedding that and let that go. And it's easily said than done, I'm sure, for some women. You have to find balance at a point in your life that you got to let all that go. Like that's why I'm at such a peaceful space in my life, and I refuse to allow anybody to come in and disrupt that. If you don't bring me anything other than you don't add to my peace, then I can't have you a part of my life. And I don't care who you are.
So this is a huge contrast from being the
The
bitch.
angry black. Oh, I'm a bitch all day long.
But that's not soft.
Yeah, that's
Yes, it
not-
is. Yes, it is. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you have to know what
Yeah.
the word bitch can entail. I can become a bitch when I have to protect myself. But that comes with when you not actually blocking people in your life. That's going to make that come out of you. So you have to learn how to say walk away from people, certain situations or certain people, and say, okay, I'm not going to allow this person to bring that character out because I'm in my zenful place. But a lot of people don't know how to say no or to.
But you have other cultures that, regardless of what that person brings, they are still that soft.
Is it because they're
that's
single
them.
versus in a like?
I mean, that's lifestyle. They may not have gone through some of the hardships that Black women have gone
Absolutely.
through.
I was about to
So,
say that's them.
Of course, they can live
Absolutely.
that fake, phony.
I was about to say
I'm living
they
this
governed by a
sinful
whole
life,
different set of rules.
and then
man.
they hold on to all of that pain and anger,
Mhm.
and they show it on Snap when they call their
Snap.
husband. And
But
we're
I-
like, you should have let that go out.
Yeah.
Like we do. But then next thing you know, they on TV, they done
Yeah,
killed their
cutting
husband,
penises
or they
off
done,
and stuff.
Yeah.
got them
I
to
told
some
you.
crazy stuff. You're like,
Mhm.
what the
Yeah.
hell happened? Because she snapped.
Said that.
But us, we release it on a regular, so we can be perceived as
Mhm.
that. But
Mhm.
at some point, the women that don't show that
Mhm.
end up snapping.
Yeah, and I think too, sometimes as Black women, sometimes the inequities and the adversities that they dealt with for so long, they have no choice but to be strong. And sometimes when you've been strong for so long, it's hard to have that soft spot sometimes. But it do take that special person to bring it out of them. And I think that it do happen, but it just got to be that special person.
I don't think a person can bring that out of you. I think you have to choose to let go the anger and the bitterness and the
And-
hurt.
But you know
when
what?
it comes out of you. But a person can give you
I was
a
about to say.
space
To be
Yeah, they
vulnerable.
got
to
all
be
that
vulnerable
Yeah,
and
absolutely. That's
to
what I mean.
release all of that.
Absolutely.
Like, I have no problem with being submissive to the right man.
Yeah.
And that man has to make me feel safe. And I'm not saying just safe. Oh, if somebody jump or want to hit me, they block it. No, that's not what I mean.
No.
It's safe.
Everything
Mhm.
about him
Emotionally.
is
Secure.
safe. I can.
Secure.
Spiritually,
Yes.
mentally, physically, sexually, financially, all of that has
Yes.
to connect.
Mhm.
At that point, that is when I can be totally
Exhale.
submissive and excel for that man.
Yes.
And there will be nothing he couldn't get
Yeah.
from me.
I struggle with being vulnerable. That is
Mhm.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because of different life experiences that I've had. And so I don't think that soft means being any type of weakness. Because I
Not
do
at all.
think that it takes a certain level of strength to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
But again, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think it's just a negative connotation to being that independent Black woman.
Right.
Yes.
But I
It
think,
is.
but we have to be, when you're solely by yourself, you have to have that masculine and feminine
Yeah.
qualities
Absolutely.
to
Y'all
become
got-
whole, right?
Y'all got
So
taught
when
to
you
be like
so
that.
when you get into a
I didn't.
relationship, one has to assume whichever role. It doesn't mean like the woman automatically has the feminine side, because sometimes it's reversed.
Right.
But to become whole with another person, you have to bring half, and they bring half, if that makes
Right.
sense. But when
Right.
you're like on a soul ship by yourself, you need to be
Right.
both.
Mhm.
But I
Right.
think Black women have that negative. That's a negative character trait for us, because
Yes.
we're just you both. But that's
We were
any human
forced
being
into
needs to be
being that.
both.
We were forced into being
Yeah.
that. And Black men need to take ownership of forcing us into being that. I'm not saying every Black man. Sometimes women can run a man off. I get that.
I was gonna say,
I
without- I wouldn't
wholeheartedly-
say force. I wouldn't
I
say force.
wholeheartedly
yeah.
understand that. I had a
Mhm.
mother that was just, and I don't know how my father dealt with it as long as he did.
Mhm.
Love both of my parents. Rest in peace to both of them. But I get that. But when you leave a woman to father and to mother, and then you want to come back and she's aggressive, you left me to be the man and
Yeah.
the mother. Now you want me to shut it off on the light switch? You can't always do that, because at that moment we're trying to figure out: are you gonna stick around? You gonna be there long enough?
Mhm.
Can I let that side, that man,
Can you trust him?
masculine
Yeah.
side of me down,
Mhm.
and hold and trust that you're gonna come in and do what you need to do? But and so when you don't let that down, because he may not stay,
Mhm.
so now you got to.
It's an art to it, yeah.
It's an art to you. Got to reprogram your mind
Mhm.
Mhm.
to even get to that level where you got to be mother and father. And I was there, so I know that.
And when you do that, think about what you're doing to the next generation. You know what I'm saying? So now you got that
You-
young woman that you're raising, and now guess what she's thinking?
Well,
that's
Mama,
the right thing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the
I'm
right
just saying,
thing,
but that's what it starts at. And that's why
Yeah.
you have them being strong.
You gotta
because
break
Now you
those.
got
Yes.
now
Yes.
I
that,
get
that
it.
woman. She
But-
said
Remember when
but
I
do
said
you-
they
but
was taught
how
that?
do you not do
it's
that?
a
I'ma
taught
tell you
behavior.
something about
Clear.
It's a taught behavior. You know
And
what
no,
I
I
mean?
agree.
So
it's
that's
a
why, as far
choice.
as black women, but as for the other races, they
Yeah.
don't experience that. You know what I'm saying?
Unless-
That woman's still showing
My mom,
those soft spots. You know what I'm saying? And the
because
children
their
are
husbands
seeing
are
it.
staying there and they're raising the kids and they're there and they're not worried. Half of those
But
women
they
are
are
home,
But they
with
are
the
still
kids and not
experiencing some
at
of
a
the
job.
but they still experiencing some of the same issues
Some
in
of
the
them.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
they-
I'm just saying as far as where it come from. You know what I'm saying? It's a learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? And in
I
different
get now
cultures,
what you were
it's
saying.
different.
So in your explanation, because initially when you said we're taught that, and I'm like, my mama didn't teach me that,
and I
but
was about to say,
actions.
every grandmother
Mm-hmm.
in my family taught. I got my mother, and I got about 11 or 12 aunts between my mother's mother, my father's mother, and my granddaddy first wife.
Mhm.
You know, we a melted family, and all of the girls was taught to be strong and
Right,
independent.
that's how I was taught.
All of the girls are strong, independent. Even my mother been married for 30 plus years, still strong and independent. Like I look, sometime my pops, I'll be like, you can just come stay with me if you want to.
Oh God.
Because I already know. But all of my aunts got taught, and it's probably because of how my grandmothers were and what they had to endure with the grandfathers.
Right.
They made sure that girls
Right.
just had it all, like had everything they needed. You
But
feel
you
me?
know what? When I look at
Yeah.
my mom and her siblings, my
Mhm.
mom is it's like night and day. My aunts
It happens.
are, and that's all of them, including the ones that have passed on, are considered the strong Black women. Not to say that my mom was not strong, but how she maneuvered in her relationships was
But that's
different.
breaking the generational curse. Your
However,
mother.
However, I didn't learn it.
Mhm.
She never said, Alexis, you're gonna have to do what you have. Nobody ever said that to me. My mom never talked bad about my biological dad. She remarried when I was 10. And so from 10 till he passed, I was in a 2-parent household. But I'm someone who is raising 2 kids by myself. And you made the comment about, when they come back and I'm not aggressive at all. I maybe to me it's not aggressive.
I was
But
gonna
you have
But-
an attitude.
Not
But you
even
probably just
that.
cautious.
I'm
You're-
very
and
cautious,
fearful.
but it's just
Yeah.
like I don't, take care of your child.
No, I agree.
We don't have to have a
I
conversation.
totally agree.
Matter of fact, you haven't contributed.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe I come off then as passive aggressive. Could be.
That could be.
It's on
And
your
I
face.
can admit that.
I know
When
it's
I
on
say-
your face.
Yeah.
Right, it's
Yeah.
passive aggressive.
Can I-
When I say aggressive, I'm not saying like, oh, yelling, cursing, and all of that. There's
Mhm.
some women out there
It's
like
the
that.
energy.
I was not her either.
Mm.
I took care of my mother told me, if 2 people had a baby, don't you wait around on a man to do nothing for your child. You do for your children.
And see, I
that's
never had
what
that conversation.
And that's what I've always
My mother told
that
me
is
that.
what I've always done was take care of my kids. I didn't ask for anything from anybody.
Mm.
I didn't need. I took care of my children. My children always had everything that they needed and wanted.
And see, for me, when I realized that it was just going to be me,
Yeah.
all right, well, what we're not going to do is be a statistic. I had one of my cousin's friends. We were actually at the hospital. My granddad was passing away, and she came. I was pregnant, and another cousin we were pregnant at the same time, but I was like early on in my pregnancy. And so she's telling us that, oh, you'll never go anywhere, you'll never do anything. Yes.
Ugh.
That person has no kids to this day, but all those things, she was like, oh, you 2 are just gonna be a statistic.
What the hell?
Right. So we're in the process of grieving because we know, our grandfather's passing away, but then you come with that.
Yeah, that was rough.
So when I had my daughter, I'm like, oh no, We're not a statistic.
Right.
We're not. Oh no,
Right.
we're not gonna be. And I'm thankful for the doors that have opened for me, but I did what I had to do to make sure my kids were good.
Sure.
You know, but nobody said, like my mom, and I don't even, when I see that person, because she's still one of my cousin's friends, and I just look at her like, yeah.
When-
But it's just, I didn't get it from my mother. My mother never said, oh, you need to take care of those kids or you need to do this. It was,
The
no.
switch just came on for you.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people it just come on for. I want to point something out about the question when you were saying earlier, Tiffany,
Mhm.
when you gave the whole rundown of feeling safe with a man.
Mm-hmm.
You ran down a list about 5 things that a man has to do to like make you like be submissive. It's like you had to feel safe financially, spiritually. Like
Physically.
like everything. And I'm just like, is that just a criteria from the jump, or is that something like he has to do like all of that just to get to a certain point
No,
with
no,
you?
no.
Because I'm just like, what if he don't make you feel safe financially right at the start?
No.
Are you gonna
So
still
you're right. No, not.
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning of the relationship.
Because I was like, damn, that's a lot.
No, it's actually not.
Not
It's very
really.
minimal. Actually, you looking at it, you reading too much into it. It's
Okay.
just making it a bigger. So as time goes on with the man, you know, of course, when you first start dating, you don't automatically trust,
Mhm.
right? So things he does, you know, he needs to give you a space to be okay. He needs to
Gotcha.
give you a space to, you know, I would like a man to pray with me. You know what I'm saying? That space to pray together, or when I'm feeling sick and he's on my side and he's making me feel good about myself. That's part of feeling safe. You know, I got soup for you, baby. I got you some medicine. You
Taking
okay.
care of you.
Taking care of me. That's part of being safe, because women, we do it all
Seem
the
like
time.
you care.
We do it all the
Yeah.
time. We make sure the food's cooked. We make sure, you know, you got what you need. We're trying to give you a safe.
You go to church,
Sometimes, yes.
but say
I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual.
But say you the person who like to go to church, but he doesn't. But he's okay with you going to church and playing gospel music, and when you get home from church, got food cooked for you and everything. But
Mhm.
church just not his thing.
That's fine.
You,
No,
Is
my
he-
father-
does he
let me
believe in
tell you something.
God?
My father never went
because
to
I was like, even when
my
you was saying
father-
pray with, like I hear people say that all
my
the time.
father
and,
never went
you
to
know,
church,
Yeah,
but next to his bed on the nightstand was his Bible. You understand? So you can have a relationship with God outside
Yeah.
of going
Oh
to
yeah, as
somebody's
long as you
church.
have a relationship with God, I don't care what you,
know,
got going
and
on.
long as, right, exactly. And that's what I mean.
Because I don't go to church.
So feeling, I mean,
Yeah.
over a time period of dating and you get to a point that you're in a serious relationships, those are the things that women need to feel safe in a relationship for them to become submissive for you.
yeah. Because
And that's over a period of time.
Yeah.
And that's growing with somebody and learning somebody and everything. But when you get to
just-
my age,
Yeah, I was about to say, I just asked because I know I've been in a situation where I've done it both ways, where I just gave it all from the jump, and
Mhm.
then with the thing, your actions start like moving me back. And then I've been to the point where I had the wall up first, and then it's like, okay, boom, she moving that out. Oh, okay, surprising, she moved that out. So I've been both ways. So I've been kind of like all in right from the start, and then over the course of the relationship, it's pushing me out, and then vice versa. I'm like, nah, I got the roadblock, and now it's just like
well, I'm like you, Kurt. When I go
years
into a
later,
relationship,
like
I
pick up
give
the keys
100.
to everything.
Yeah. I think it should be an
give
equal
100%
give and
when I
take.
go into
Yeah.
a relationship. That's why when it's time for me to go, I'm okay with leaving
Mhm.
because I've given you everything. All of that come back, let's try it again. For me, it's kind of mute because
Yeah.
it's like I gave you everything. What else? I ain't got nothing left to give you. And what I gave you, when I gave you 100%, it still wasn't good enough. Now you want to come back and what? There's nothing going to be different. I'm still going to be, you know,
Yeah.
and you weren't appreciative of it then. So that's why I'm always like, I don't date backwards. I don't date backwards.
Well, I say this much for all the black women who I know. It's sad and unfortunate that you all have the plight that you all have in this country, because I hear it when people complain about women, and I just look at stuff from a different perspective. I'm like, somebody might call you a bitch or say you tough or you hard. I'm like, she's soft. You just got to know how to get to the soft spot.
Mhm.
And that's how I be looking
Just
at it. Like
protect
I
herself.
could
It's
see
armor.
I see
Yeah,
it
that's
in you.
armor.
I've seen chicks who was real hard, and then when you catch them in that one moment, that one soft moment can see them sitting down reading a
See
book.
them a whole
I'm like,
different-
oh
Mhm.
shit.
But it's the same
She
for
was just
black
fighting
men.
last week, but she like to read books. I'm like, it's in her. You just gotta.
But I feel
Like
the
you
same
said.
way about black
Mhm.
men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys have this tough exterior, but at the end of the day, you're just as human as we are, and there's
Mhm.
vulnerability there.
Yeah.
And that's the side of men that I love. Like
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
part
Mhm.
I wanna cater to. I wanna take
Right.
care of and be there for that.
And
When they
protect it, too.
open up.
When they
Mhm.
open up. Right.
And if they don't, it's
Right.
just kind of like, you just like the next guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
and
people.
I get it.
People
That's you gotta
experiences
you
and
gotta
their
protect
traumas,
yourself
yeah.
just like we have to protect
Mhm.
ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, and it's unfortunate that we have to do that, but you do because there are people that will come in and use you up.
Yeah.
So
See,
you have to.
Yeah, I just think it's a learned behavior, and I just
Yeah.
think as adults and as parents, we just got to do better because we
Mhm.
got the young ones watching us, and you know, we making it hard for
it's true.
you know the younger people. You know what I mean? To have a really successful, happy relationship because a lot of the young folks they growing up, everybody hard. Nobody
Yep.
want to be soft.
Yep.
Nobody
Right,
want to do this because
right,
that's
right,
how
right.
that's what we instilled in them.
Right.
That's what
They ain't got no R&B music.
Yeah, so
That's
ain't no
And
more
R&B.
R&B movement. No more.
For
They
sure.
need that R&B.
Oh, God.
So we missing it,
Yeah.
you know. But we just got to do a better job at that. And how to do it, I don't know. I guess we got to start in our own household.
You
but,
definitely got to
you
start
know,
at home
we
first.
We got to
You
start.
And
at
that's
home.
that's
You
for
know,
me.
old school practice what you preach, baby.
Yeah, I
That's
see a
for
shift
me.
though in socially. I feel like where it's more hip and nice to be in a committed relationship now, getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Like on social media, that's like the cool thing to do now.
Yeah.
And before,
But is
even
it
if
for
it's
social media?
What
Oh.
what
Social
what
media.
what
If it's
age
for now.
what age group?
like
That
my
30-year-olds,
timeline, I
the
see a lot
30-year-olds are
of
getting
couples
married.
going on trips, a lot of couples like getting married.
Yeah,
and
that's the
proposals.
30-year-old
Like, that's
group.
what
I
I
give
see a
them that.
lot
They
of
get
on my
married
timeline.
more than my age group.
So
did.
maybe it's the
Yeah.
algorithm.
They don't have the
whatever
battle
it's called.
scars we have.
Right, right. The
Like-
30-year-olds are now
Yeah,
you
I
know,
feel like
getting
it's
married.
like
I love it,
turning
though.
It
around
took
now.
me about 6 or 7 years after I got divorced to realize that I needed therapy. Like I ain't
Yeah.
realized how
Yeah.
I
much
can imagine. being
everybody
married
had been
before
telling me, and it's
doing
just
it
like,
again.
bro, you really
It's
got
scary.
battle scars from 2 marriages, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's a lot.
People
And
don't
I
think
and
that
I wasn't
those-
thinking of that because you,
people don't think
like
that
you
it
say, you
bothers
think
you,
we
but it
all right
does.
because I'm
Mhm.
upright. I'm still
Mm-mm.
getting
Right.
money, doing good in business,
Mm-mm.
living life.
That
but
thing will pop right
I
back up.
think everybody should have some form of therapy. You can do tune-ups, quarterly, go quarterly. Like you take your car, go and get a little mental health
Mhm.
tune-up.
like I hadn't
Absolutely.
been in like the
Yeah.
last maybe like month and a half or 2, and I'll set me an appointment for next week Tuesday.
There you go. And that's a
Doc
that's a
hit me up.
beautiful
I'm like,
thing.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
put me on your schedule for.
Right. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
Next question, Alex. So leads right into it. So
yes and yes.
the next topic up for discussion is trauma. 1, have you experienced trauma? And 2, how has it shaped you as a man or a woman?
My trauma has definitely gotten me tougher on things that back when I was younger I was easy with, I was soft with. Like every other woman I dated is like we lived together. We'll be dating 3 or 4 months, next thing you know, we got a crib together. Now it's been 8 years. And it's just like, nah, I ain't living with nobody. Like it's tough for me, but now I'm at that point where, that statue with the dude like sculpting himself up. I feel like I'm chipping away,
Chipping away.
at all of that hard stuff
Mhm.
now, and I'm almost
Yeah.
to the point where I'm gonna be able to step out there.
Yeah.
And now the thought of actually cohabitating with a woman, it feels good. Like you said, I see stuff on social media, and it's just like, it might not be as bad as I think
Mhm.
it is, or it's like it's worth the try because I know how it was in the past, but I'm not as seasoned. I mean, I'm way more seasoned now than I was back then, so I understand a lot of, different intricacies with living with somebody.
Mhm.
So now I don't think it'll be as challenging once I take that step moving
Right.
forward in the future. I think it'll be fun actually now. Back then I was just doing
Okay.
shit because that's what was
Right.
easy to do.
Yeah.
Now it's just like
It's more intentional your
Yeah,
next time around.
yeah, you look like I'm writing stuff down that I would like to do
Mm.
in a relationship
Right.
and
Mhm.
with somebody and experience. As before, it was just like, shit,
Okay.
we in each other's face every day. We might as well live together.
Right.
And it's just,
Yeah.
you just living with somebody just to be like, oh, I live with my girlfriend, or I live with my boyfriend.
You know, I've shedded my trauma. I went to therapy. I've been divorced 7 years. I have just, I've, tried one committed relationship after marriage, but after that, I just decided to work on me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a great journey. It's been a tough journey. I always tell people self-reflection is the hardest thing you'll ever
Oh
do.
yeah.
And then you have to be extremely honest with yourself. And once you get through that, all of that other stuff will just fall off you.
Mhm.
So again, reiterating on my place of peace and love and happiness. That's all that lies here now.
Mm.
And I'm not allowing anybody into that world that cannot compliment that for me.
No, that's right. Yeah, for me, same situation. Previous marriage, after the marriage, you definitely did therapy, and it definitely, enlightened you on a lot of things, help you understand yourself a little bit more better, and some of the things that was very troubling for me is like when you got children and just watching the emotional tension with your children and dealing with that piece. You know what I mean? So that was like one of the hardest part, going through that situation. But, with therapy, just understanding yourself a little bit better and building from it, you know what I mean? And just put you on a whole new situation, So right now I'm on this whole peace journey, And similar to what you said, if there's anything outside of my peace, I'm not really wanting to get involved with it. I'm focusing a lot more on me, my goals, and, what I'm trying to accomplish. So, that's what I learned from the situation. So, situations make you bring out the best of you sometimes. So, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes a man is made by the mistakes that he made. So although you made some mistakes, you learn from them and you just, make things better. You ain't perfect. And I always say that to people, I'm Mr. Wonderful, not Mr. Perfect.
Someone go 5, 6,
Yeah.
1.
I like that.
It's on you.
Oh.
Never been married.
Say what?
It's have you
Trauma.
experienced
Trauma.
trauma?
I've had long-term relationship trauma. I've had platonic relationship traumas. And I think it definitely shaped me into the whole and complete woman that I am today.
That's a different one, the platonic.
Listen,
Yeah.
the platonic, platonic one, I feel like it's worse than romantic.
Those the situations.
It's worse.
Those be like situations.
No, platonic is like with your girlfriends or with your homeboys.
Friends, yeah.
With betrayal and all.
Yeah.
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 Lord have mercy.
Oh God, we've all been through that one.
So, I think that took a lot of self-reflection. And that was so many life lessons I learned with my platonic trauma. And romantic trauma too. Like I had to learn a lot of what I will accept and what I won't accept and what I want, what I don't want. It's just now I have like I'm so protective over Alicia now.
Mm-hmm.
And before I used to let, oh no.
Yeah.
If it ain't fitting, it ain't fitting. I don't
Right.
care who it is. Like it's a no for me. It's a
Right.
strong
Say
no for me. Because it took you a lot to get out of that hole because you
That's
get
right.
deep down in that
Yes.
hole. And you have to do a lot of ugly shadow work. Well, in the
right.
spiritual world, they call it shadow work. And the mirror is held up to you. Because there's a lot of
That's
things
right.
that you
A
attracted, but a lot
self-reflection.
of people don't want to admit that. There's a lot of things you attracted those relationships in you.
Yeah.
And sometimes like God exaggerate in the next person, but that's all you. That's something that
That's
he wants
about
you to
you.
fix. But
That's
it's just
right.
like, no, that can't be me. I don't do that. Yes, you do.
Yep.
Fix it. And then you can move on. It's so magical on the other side.
Yeah.
It's just a different world, I feel like. But I could write a whole book on that,
You
honey.
should.
And Palm Beach County will love that thing. Hey.
You should.
I could be transparent. That's never been an issue. So, dealing with being in a physically abusive relationship, emotionally abusive relationship, dealing with almost being molested, but actually having the wherewithal to kind of maneuver out of that situation. But with the well, doubt he even ever watches it. But my stepbrother, I'm very, very, very guarded. So those types of traumatic situations, allow me or have shaped me to be like, yeah, no one's gonna be around my kids like that. Because you never know. I'm going to be a little bit more careful in terms of like who I deal with romantically, because now we've talked about therapy. I've done therapy. My therapist was phenomenal. One thing she did say, she said, Alexis, you were very self-aware. So it wasn't like, she had to do some big revealing for me. Right. Like I'm very much aware of what my strengths and what my weaknesses are as a woman. But those situations definitely shaped who I am. And I think it I don't know what it's like for men, like how trauma affects men versus women, but I think with women we tend to we go into like almost like battle mode to protect who we are. It's survival. And I've been in survival mode for a while. Even while I was doing that, self-work. But still, I'm kind of like, do I want to date now? I mean, I'm content with who Alexis is.
That survival mode is heavy.
I think you're maybe because you're still in it. I think once you go over a certain hump, then you just like how Kurt was saying, like now it's like, this does look appealing now versus. But I think when you
get out of survival mode.
Yeah.
But you know what? I thought it did. But again, I have to be careful about who I deal with, because that type of hurt, especially like when you open up to people and it's just kind of like, do you not see me?
Yeah, but
so it's kind of touchy.
Yeah, I get that, but that's not a reflection of who you are, what that person did. That's a reflection of who they are
and their trauma.
So absolutely, they probably recognize who you were, this phenomenal woman, but they just weren't equipped enough to handle that.
Right.
That's them people.
Therapy helps people
like
sometimes, but it don't fit nobody.
No.
You gotta the fixing is left to us, type of thing. Half the time, therapy don't even work or help most people, especially if they don't want to be helped. But when it comes to like fixing is more of just understanding that you're not the only one, and you may not be the only problem, type of thing.
But
sometimes we are the problem, like you said, is that mirror in front of your face.
Right. Therapy doesn't work if you're not willing to self-reflect. If you're not willing to say, I am
look
fucked
at you
up.
first.
I'm fucked up.
No,
I said
therapy helps, but it don't fix.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think too,
you have
us
to be willing
folks
to do that
think
kind of
like you go to therapy and I'm fixed.
No.
Like you're gonna be
It's
continuously.
work.
It's a day-to-day.
triggered.
It's day-to-day work.
Like I said, I do tune-ups every now and then.
Yeah.
I don't
You're gonna
have
be
to
triggered.
go like I did
Oh,
years
You
ago.
ever had
But just
somebody
to be
Once a
fair-
week.
tell you I've been to therapy, I'm better now?
Like what?
Yeah.
You ain't been to
Nah.
therapy. And you fine line.
Right, because I still
Yeah.
need tune-ups. You
It
know?
just helps you recognize.
I still
And
need
learn
to
what your
have my
coping
little tune-ups.
mechanisms.
It's like, hey, I need to talk to somebody because I need to work this out. Because
Yeah.
it's not, I can't seem to work it out. I need some kind of structure
Yeah.
with it. you need tune-ups with it. You know, I don't go
Mhm.
like I used to every week. I used to, have a
Yeah.
session every week.
And it's
Absolutely.
different
Like
things,
once every other
different
month.
Now I
traumas.
go like
would say.
once every 3 months. I feel like I need a little tune-up. I go,
Yeah.
I sit down and, have those moments.
There's a therapist that I follow on Instagram. He posted something, probably been a month. And I commented and I said, how often do people like need to go to therapy? Is it something that people will need their entire lifetime? Or is it for a moment
Mhm.
to get through something? And then you go, like, I just was not sure.
Your
Mhm.
therapist
Because
got a
what prompted
therapist.
me was actually sitting in my living room, and I just started reflecting, and it was just like, Alexis, you have not allowed yourself to feel. I felt like if I ain't finna do it now. I felt like if I actually had to feel, that I would break. And it would be something that I couldn't come back from.
You can always
you
come
gotta
back from
release
it.
it.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Releasing
Yeah.
is the key to it, but you
Absolutely.
can come back from it. You just gotta
I
let
think
it go.
I think in order to move forward, you
Gotta
gotta
let it
break.
go.
Mhm.
Yeah, you gotta break.
But you could break a little bit, but you're not completely
It's
break.
almost
If that makes
Absolutely.
sense.
shedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The break between broken.
And
Right.
I think that you haven't found that safe space yet to let it go. To
I
let it
did.
out, to let it out.
But every now and then, things just kind of, when I think back to where I was at that place, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of like 2013, no, 2012. My mom had a business. I was her program director. That closed. The charter school that they were trying to start closed. I was pregnant with Caleb 2014. At least I found out that April, his dad just up and disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
By that June, my sister passed away. A couple months before that, I found out my stepdad. It was just like loss
Thing
after
after
loss
thing,
after
yeah.
loss, and
Yeah.
it just like, okay, well, I have to be strong for my kids.
Right.
I have to be strong for my mom because my mom is grieving. Her daughter, although I'm a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
but her daughter's, lost, and her husband has stage 4 cancer. So it was just like, and she lost a business. So it was just a lot of grief
Mm-hmm.
that I think a lot of people experience things. We don't think that, okay, a job loss that's just a job.
Mm-mm.
But no, it's
No.
it's
More
something
than
that
that.
has ended
Yeah.
or something that is no longer that, we tend to
Has a ripple effect on your life.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the tears now are just like, man, I remember where I was and I'm not there anymore, but I'm still protecting me because
But I
I don't
think-
want to get back to that place.
No, but I think you should allow yourself some grace in this,
Yeah, definitely.
and then a lot of grace because you deserve it. You know,
and you made
in
it
those
through
little
it,
things that
you
you're
know?
feeling now, it's just a little trigger. It doesn't mean
Yeah, a
that
little
it's
trigger.
happening all over again. It's
But-
just like a little.
But you
Mhm.
know what I
also
mean?
have to
Yeah.
understand we can't control life, and things will happen throughout life.
Yeah.
So there are going to be periods that you're going to suffer some more loss, unfortunately. But you can't get caught up in that because you didn't create the loss.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
It's just a situation in life
It's life.
that happens. And we have to learn, and it's maybe easily said than done, but we have to learn to accept life for what it is.
Right.
We are going to have ups and we're going to have peaks and valleys.
They
You
didn't tell
understand?
us this when we was kids.
No, this is something they
No.
didn't tell us. And
Like,
you're
what?
going to have to maneuver with
They tell us this part.
But it's okay throughout maneuvering
Oh,
those
yeah.
peaks and valleys. It's
Mhm.
okay to cry.
Yes.
It's okay to say, I am so sick of this shit. You know, it's
Yep.
okay to
Yep.
release it any way you need. If you need to
Mhm.
scream, if you need to run up and down the street, but it's okay. But
Mhm.
it's life, and it's not going to. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
I agree.
As much as all of us want to stop death, as much as all of us
Yeah.
want to make sure our finances are good, unfortunately,
Life
that's
is
not
life.
reality.
Yeah.
So when things come and hit you, you just, you gotta. You gotta stay strong in that, and you got to just let it be what it's gonna be,
Yeah, and know it's gonna go back up
and
again.
know that
Yeah.
this is just a little
roller coaster.
You know what
It's gonna
I
go
mean?
back
This
up
is
again.
It's a
The
moment.
light is over
Yeah.
here,
It's
and
a
I'm
moment.
coming. But right now, I gotta walk
Yeah.
in the dark for a
Mhm.
moment.
Yeah.
For a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Alexis,
God.
you know how you reached out to
It's
me.
got me there.
You reached out to me a couple times, and it'll be out of the blue, and you will always kind of remind me of certain situations of where I'm at in life. Like you can almost tell when I'm kind of down on myself or feel like I'm not doing enough, and you will send me the most encouraging text message or call me and say you've done this. Like you kind of like run down my accomplishments, because sometimes in life we tend to forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm listening to you, like I know a lot of your story, and it's like where you was at 10 years ago, it's not where you at now. Where you was at 5 years ago, like we've had conversations where I'm sure I kind of broke you down a little bit on the phone, but I was being honest about certain situations. No, you know when
I get
when
what
you
you
know
mean,
your
yeah.
friend need to hear
You
certain
need it. Yeah,
things.
it's all out
And
of
that's kind of
love.
free.
And-
Yeah, it's all love.
and that's why
That's
she
kinda
called
free.
me, because she know I'm not gonna pull no punches.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
remember, I don't know if you mind me saying it,
Go ahead.
situation with Caleb dad,
Yeah.
and you was upset about something he said about him, and I can hear it in your voice, and you was already starting to break down. And in that same moment, I wasn't patting on the back, and she was just like, how could he say that about his son? And I said, that ain't his son, that's your son. And she was just, I'm like, yeah, he ain't been here. He ain't been
Right.
around. He don't have the same emotional attachment to that
That's
boy
right.
as you do.
Yeah.
That's
You
your
don't
son.
even know him like that.
And she was hurt in the moment, but by the end of the conversation, we were laughing.
Yeah.
Cause I crack a joke right after saying,
Yeah.
I'm like, what,
Gotta
that
put you
ain't
on
that
your
ain't that
life.
man,
Yeah.
baby.
Somebody's
That's your
gonna
Oh,
baby.
God.
Like,
sometimes.
But-
It'll be like,
you're at such like, if you was reflecting, you reflecting in your house, right? Just take a look around your house.
True.
yeah.
That's
True.
enough to reflect on, right?
That's
there.
true.
Just how the house
True.
look. You
That's
wasn't
true.
in that house 5 years ago.
No, it was not.
So I mean, you may go through stuff with your kids, but look how your kids living.
Right. That's
Facts.
true.
They experiencing a life that,
I did not have.
yeah,
that.
we ain't had that same
Right.
type of life when, you
Mhm.
know what I'm
True.
saying?
I didn't have.
Yeah, so it's
Right.
just like,
had no
and you know,
cell phone.
our hard part in life, we didn't know that's when we had the most fun when we were kids. We didn't know how we was living, and that we like
No.
the stuff we did,
Right.
we'd never allow our kids to do.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I
No.
remember how I learned
But
how to
that- I
ride a
think that's
bike,
the
and I'm like,
problem.
Right.
never. Like, my son would never.
But I think
Like,
that's the problem. That's why
Yeah.
these kids are feeling entitlement
yeah,
and
we
lazy.
definitely have a lot
Yeah.
to do with that.
And have no work ethic, because
Yeah.
somewhere along the line we thought the way we were raised was
Mhm.
wrong
Bad, yeah.
and was
Mhm.
bad.
Mhm.
And truth be told, it
I love
wasn't.
it. Nah,
Just gotta
It
have a
wasn't.
balance.
I
between-
think I gotta, and if you ask my son, he'll probably say the same thing. I think I got a good, healthy balance with how my parents raised me and how I raised him. Only difference is I grant him concessions that I didn't get. Like I'll make him get a job, but I still pay his car payment. But I ain't never gave him no gas money. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'll put him on my insurance, and I have to, I had to remind him one time when he was talking about trading his car, and I said, "Bro, you got a free car." I said, "My parents never put me on their car insurance. My parents never
Nope.
paid any car payments for me. My parents," and by the time I got to the third, fourth, my parents, he was like, "I feel you, Dad. My bad."
Yeah.
He said, "I was
Right.
tripping. I don't know what I'm
Right.
thinking." I said, "Well, all you responsible for is gas." I said, "You don't even pay tolls. Your son pass is connected to my account. So I get
Wow.
emails saying it recharged,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of where you slide into. Only thing
Right.
you got to do is put gas in the car." And he was like, yeah, you right. So it's just like, but I'm just like, bro, I don't take care of dudes, bro. So he always work. He don't ask me to help him with his bills. I just automatically do that because that's the dad in me, knowing that he ain't but 20. I knew when I was 20, I needed help. I needed my grandmother's home when I was 20. He got his own place. The least I can do is, hey.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Because if I wasn't helping him with his rent, he'll probably be here with me, and I don't know if I want a roommate now. So, I'm chipping away. I said I was chipping. They go for kids, grown kids.
Wait,
I'm
Mama,
chipping
how
away.
much?
Mama, I think I need to come stay with you. Hold on. No.
I'm like, how much you need, bro?
No.
I'm like,
Let's
bro,
work
if
this out.
this a shakedown, just say that, bro. How much you need?
You need some therapy or something?
Wait, you need me to pay 2 months of that rent? Yeah.
Let me tell you a little something. You ain't gonna stay here. That is a no.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're not expecting shedding any tears.
You in the
That's
best
love.
place to
That's
reflect,
cleansing.
man.
Tears are cleansing the soul, baby.
It's clean. And
Hey,
then
we
it's
laugh, we shed tears. We do it all. It's all right.
She almost caught
It's
me
all
in
right.
that
Alexis,
love.
Yeah, me too. I was
count
like,
your wins. Count your wins.
Count your wins.
Because
That's
I
right.
never count my wins. I'm always looking to the, man, they ain't do this yet. I gotta do this.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
I got a whole laundry list of shit that I done did. And it's just like, bro, you been owning businesses for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like the last, since I've been 26.
We just want to be millionaires. Like, why we not a millionaire yet?
And then when you get to that, you be like, now I
I'm
need
not
it
a
10
big-
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Soon as you touch a
Never
million, you gonna
know.
want to touch
Never
10.
know.
Soon as you touch 10, you gonna want to
It's
touch
never enough.
50.
50. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because this entrepreneur
wired.
life, baby.
But
like,
I'm
about
different.
to-
I'm different. I know how to be happy with a little money.
But you know what, Lisa?
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be
I'm
I don't need to be a
learning
millionaire.
live a little
No?
less than I, used to, and it brings me a little bit more peace too.
Mhm.
I'm not into jewelry like I used to be.
Mhm.
I'm not into fancy cars anymore. I'm not. Those are things that it means more to me to be able to travel
Mhm.
than it does for me to be driving nice.
Oh yeah.
You know
I
what
mean,
It's-
that's with
it's a
that's with
waste
age.
of-
We know better.
Right.
Instead of
It's
buying
like,
a brand new car, that's just dumb.
So I'm learning to live. There was a time I had 300 pair of shoes.
Yeah.
I've since downsized.
My shoes ain't going nowhere.
And
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
not
Well,
Cut the
saying,
deck
that's
at
all y'all
the
got
shoes.
with men.
I'm not saying I have less than 100, but I don't have 300 anymore. But I've just learned that those things that I no longer need those things to for me. It's the experiences. It's life right now. Enjoying life
Yeah.
is what for me means more than anything.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
Like I've never really been into like the name brand stuff.
Right.
That's never been my thing. I did like going
Some
shopping.
things.
I'm
designer.
guilty.
Shopping was whoo. But I want my peace.
Oh yeah.
I want my kids to be good. I want to make sure my mom is good. Unfortunately, sometimes I put Alexis at the end of that line. But for me, if those things are like okay, then that takes a little added pressure off of for me. But final question. How does the experience of trauma impact intimate relationships and family dynamics?
Like we kind of touched on that
Yeah,
a little
we
bit.
talked
A little
It's
bit.
good and
about
bad
that.
impacts, right?
Yeah, I mean relationships. It definitely impacts
And
relationships
it's
because
never,
you bring
it's
that
never
baggage.
ending.
No,
It's
it's
never
more
ending.
selective.
You bring that baggage to your next relationships.
Good and
that
bad.
was- right, and that was my whole thing about not jumping into anything after my divorce. Like I had to unpack all that. I had to let all that baggage that I probably bought to my marriage. I'm pretty sure I probably bought some things to my marriage because it takes two to really fail at something. So I'm not saying it was all on him. I'm saying I contributed to the fail of that marriage or the demise of that marriage. I'm not going to say it was a failure. It just
The ending.
it ended. But I think trauma affects every area. I mean, trauma can affect how you raise your children, your relationships with your friends. I mean, it's just trauma is, it's ugly. But you got to learn. It's
It
ugly.
is.
Trauma is so ugly. You have to you have to look at yourself and figure out where that trauma is, because that trauma is creating really negative relationships in your life. You know, you don't even know how to treat your friend girls because the trauma you've endured. You know, and you don't even realize that, you know, that you going through that, or you don't know how to treat your husband or your kids, or, you know, because of that. So yeah, trauma is all the way around the board. It can be the demise of you, period. If you don't learn to unpack it, seek some help, talk about it, let it out. Let people know who've hurt you in your past. Let them know that they hurt you.
Right.
You hurt, you know, tell them, be vocal about it. You hurt me. And, you know, now I got to figure out how to maneuver through this. And But then at some point, let it go.
All of us have siblings.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I have more than most.
I don't know about that.
I got 6.
Yeah.
Well,
I got 6.
You know,
I have a lot on both sides.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm my mom's only child that she
okay.
had. But I have
Okay.
stepsisters, and I have, on my dad's side, I have 6 half siblings and 4 stepsisters.
Oh, okay.
And on my mom's side, I have 4 stepsisters. So that's
Okay.
8 plus 6.
Oh, okay.
50 left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And people
yeah.
never
Yeah.
understand
Fifty,
it.
11.
They don't understand it, but
The thing,
I'm the baby.
the thing with listening to all of us speak about this stuff, we are all at a point in our life where I think we all open and recognize our traumas, and that'll be a big blessing and a help to somebody else.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Coming into us because
Yes.
Yeah.
Sharing your
yeah,
testimony. Yeah.
certain things that might scare somebody else away, I recognize it. I'm like, yo, you ain't never talked to nobody about that, huh? Or I'm like, I'll be the guy be like, baby, what's going on? Talk to me, because you tripping for no reason, because I did it the same way as I did the other day. And for whatever reason, like we're all at that stage where we can see that with someone else as well as ourselves. So that's a good plus right now with everybody on this panel that I noticed. Like nobody up here is just like clueless or unaware about who we are, what we've been through. Like we've all looked in the mirror and confronted us.
I think if you don't, and there are a lot of people out there who refuse to look.
Yeah.
That's what makes
Take
life.
no
mirror.
accountability.
That's-
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But you know
it's
what?
ridiculous.
That's the essence
gonna
of
happen.
life.
It's
It's
gonna
what
happen
makes life a
eventually.
beautiful nightmare.
Yeah.
It's really a beautiful nightmare. Because, like you say, everything about family and relationships, everybody, it varies with everybody. We all have children, and except for you, Alicia, you're the fortunate one out of the bunch. But what I was about to say is we'll all have a different take on how we think a child should be raised. You feel me? And the good thing about it is all of us might be absolutely right.
Or
That child-
absolutely wrong.
Exactly. It's no handbook. And that child is kids who didn't get half of what, my son may have gotten, but they might be 10 times better than him in life. And vice versa. Some
Right.
people who got, the biggest platform ever, and then they just flame out. Rich people have some of the worst kids. It's like, I done made $100 million
pastors.
in my life, and I raised the
Everything
bump
else is
Yep.
type of thing.
Yeah.
And then with some of us is like that, the flower growing through concrete type of thing with a lot of us. So
Thank for that. All of us are so resilient. We was able to bounce back from some of the trauma that we've been through. But unfortunately, there are some people that
Can't
still in
bounce,
that
come,
space.
They don't.
can't come out of it. Can't come out of it.
And I think, regarding the question, it do affect a lot of families, and relationships,
Yeah.
if it's not really dealt with. And, the children suffer, and then they grow up, experiencing some of those same things. So I think it's important. And I think many of us, well, all of us, I think, touched on it. We talked about therapy and how we all went through that, you know what I mean? And how it helped us recognize some things about ourselves to kind of help us and allow us to be resilient. You know what I mean? Because, I think, folks should understand how important that is and not shy away from it. You know what I mean? You need to talk to somebody to help you recognize some of the things about yourself that you may not know to help you get through that situation. So, so seek, don't be afraid to seek therapy.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And finding a good therapist is It might seem difficult. You might
it's
not
like
even find the
finding
right
a-
therapist on the first rip. Like you might not.
Yeah, I went.
If
You might, you might
if
not.
you put as much emphasis on finding the right hairstylist or barber, on your therapist, finding a
My
therapist.
therapist was my fourth one.
You know what I mean?
Your therapist referred him for me.
You'll be good.
Wasn't it?
Oh.
It's an interview.
Yeah,
process.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to find
And,
the right
and
fit.
again,
I thought you were
if
saying
got-
the one that I
And,
just
like-
give you the name.
and I didn't even ask you. You heard me talking about possibly going to therapy.
No,
And you called me. One
no.
time.
We were having a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave you a whole rundown of what I saw in you. And I said, you know, I don't know if you thought about it, but therapy might be something that you want to look into. And you said, you know what? I was looking to, and you were supposed to start with somebody in Orlando or
Yeah,
something.
it was like yeah.
And I was
wasn't
like-
too hyped about it.
Yeah. And I reached out to my therapist and I was like, do you know of a guy that I know that, and she gave me the name. And I sent it off to
That's
you.
what I've been with ever since, and that's going on 3 years.
Yes.
So that was a blessing.
But that's the last question. Oh my God, I'm gonna need some tissues.
That was good. That was
You don't need to drink no more. You
I
get,
know,
you get,
that
you get
was the
sauce.
I drink
vodka
every
and the
show.
wine. But
You-
you do vodka and
but-
wine?
Yeah,
That was
last-
vodka and Hennessy.
that was not
She was going
Hennessy.
hard. She was going hard in the pain.
Playing with you today, huh?
I do not drink dark liquor.
Definitely.
Ugh.